And we're live. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to Let's Bond TV. Big up yourself, bro. Five up. Thank you for being here. And the first one in. PG is in the building this morning with us. Miss Goldie Robinson is here, and Zorro Kid is blazing fire early. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, stay at home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the garbage truck drivers. Shout out to the garbage collectors. Shout out to law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel, military personnel. Shout out to the heavy equipment operators. Shout out to the AC techs. Shout out to the engineers. Shout out to whatever it is you do. Shout out to you, from the highest CEO type offices to the person who sweeps streets and pick up garbage. Shout out to you. If you up and out to get it on a daily basis by a sweat of a man's brow, so shall he eat bread. And that's what you're doing. Shout out to you. You work for yours. Shout out to you. Productivity and progress. That's what we're into. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others, though, as much as you want good for yourself. Don't let that go over your head, though. Come and get up and say that every morning, and people just make it fly over. Come and say it every morning. But shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person if that is what your character is. If it's not, then hey, you're blessed with another day to start working on becoming that type of a person. Here we are. All right, on this beautiful Wednesday, and today is the 9th of July 2025, and we are up and feeling good and healthy and strong, and all is well with the world in our section of the world. And we have thanks and praises to give to the Most High before we even start the day, because that's how the thing go. We're happy, man. We're happy. We're good. Life sweet. Right? Na 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 na, life sweet. Na 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 na. Oh man, a lot of branches all over, and house is still good, says King Biggs. Seeing? Only 29 likes so far. Go back and touch the thumbs up button, says Missy Bram Bram. 200 people in and 64 thumbs up. What I like though is Lovely Anika. Lovely Anika is my fellow content creator sister. Couple of things. Hold on there. This is why I love this platform. You have become my family, believe it or not, right? So I'm gonna just sit on here so and talk. I am really like addicted to being here speaking to you and vibing with you. Watch this. You see, whoever did tell me the other day about the Aki, come have a freezer full of Aki, you know. My wife, she bring up like half of Jamaica. She bring up the whole of Westmoreland Aki. We actually had to go to Clarendon and Galchester, Manchester, and all them other places to go look for Aki and find more Aki on top of the Aki that she already got. And we bring up a whole heap of Aki. The place full of Aki. I was starting to get rid of the Aki them because I realized if you freeze them for too long, when I'm cooking them, me used to thaw them out, and by the time I cook them, it's like me I drink ackee porridge. So I'm like, I don't like my ackee like that. I like ackee where you get big pieces of ackee, you know, the ackee plump and fresh. Somebody, a couple of you ladies here said, so Flo, what you are do? Don't thaw out the ackee, brother. Cook the ackee frozen, throw it in the pot, same way after you do your little thing with the saltfish. Listen up, we have some on the stove right now. Ackee we have for dinner last night. Because we said we are going to test the theory. And my wife, I said, I never hear that before. Because I don't think that I go work. But let's try it. And we tried. Boy, I name ackee last night, so till. Right? So fried dumpling for dinner, you know, with ackee and saltfish. Couldn't be any better. So shout out to y'all for that. The same place where I learned that I don't want to put on them things there anymore in my underarm area, because the man them out there wanna listen. There is a lot of you who are having ED problems, way more than ever before. I know say next manhood is not supposed to be my concern, and it's not. The happiness in your life is my concern, though, right? Because I am a brother. So when a little soldier is not doing what he's supposed to do, besides the fact that you might be consuming too much alcohol, not getting enough rest, the gal stress you out there with the wrong person, all them other kind of thing there. If you've checked all those boxes and the thing still on fire like it's supposed to have fire, you might want to check your deodorant. Yeah, so I learned that. And I've been sharing this with you for a while. See? So when they did that late night, have you ever heard of, and them say one of them name products there, and it's for men suffering from ED, and you rub it under your armpit, and your tail is supposed to stand up so, and you're ready for action. I say, hold up. That means I'm a deodorant. All them something there in my deodorant are going on my tail. So I read the ingredients for my deodorant and I look it up, you know. I'm just a blood fire. Look up side effects of these ingredients on humans and these things. Blood fire, you know, so we live in a information age where everything is in front of us. You just have to know what questions to ask, right? But through me so curious, me know the question them to ask. So me over here, look up the ingredients first, look up the breakdown of the ingredients, look up where these ingredients were tested, were they ever tested on humans except for the putting them in our deodorant, and what are the side effects. Wow. All right, me no want to do that no more. All right, that's how me come. And I'm not again. SouFlo, years now me I do this. Me stop use deodorant long time. You see the lime? Come always squeeze a lime in a glass of warm water and drink it in the morning time. Them say put the same lime under your armpit, brother. The fancy something where you spray up and smell good, you can spray that by your clothes. Nobody spray it by your body. But put the lime under your armpit. I've been doing that. Haven't had any problems. Some days I forget that me I sweat. Me not smell at all. Without deodorant. Without deodorant. So I'm sharing these things. I love you all for these things. Because now me learn about hockey. Now me learn about lime under my armpit. Now me learn about, I've been learning so many things from you. I'm just, you know, happy and blessed to be here, to be able to share with. So you learn from me, I learn from you, and we keep it family like that, and we don't always agree, but it's still loving the family. See? All right. With that said, this morning we have quite a few things to talk about, and we're going to get into our topics. One of the main topics I want to talk about this morning, though, is the sentencing of Diddy and what that sentence entails. I put out a video yesterday because they've set a date for his sentencing. And of course, somebody left like one long book. It was about 8 paragraphs of how I don't understand the law and me say me go do research, but I lie me I tell and me bias and all this other stuff. You know, I had time to entertain it for a good 15 minutes, so I did reply over there. But however, we won't get into all that because it's something that piques my interest. This is called morning thoughts. That means it's simple as it sounds. I wake up in the morning, these are my thoughts, I bring them here. That's it, morning thoughts, right? All right. And the same thing for you. Anything you feel like talking about in the morning, you can do it right here. Call, the phone lines are open, suggest, etc., etc. We're going to talk about that. But while we're doing that, I realize that we have so much energy when it comes to, you know, we talk about this pretty often. We have so much energy when it comes to tearing down our own or helping others to tear our own down. But we don't have the same energy when they're tearing down one of their own. You know, we subtract ourselves from it. So I said, damn, we sat right here upon this platform and we enjoyed the details of the arrest affidavit and the details of the court paperwork for the case against Diddy. We shared those details right here. Whole heap of people did that. Them enjoy the details, how, you know, she want, after him done this to her, she go into the next room with Diddy and he wanted me to rub the man juice on him nipples and all these things. Everybody was like, oh, and hey. But nobody asked about the details for Mike Jeffries, the CEO, ex-CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch. And I thought, let's get into those details this morning. Because me, I tell people about it. And I'm saying to them, say, how come Diddy can't get no bail? Even after he beat all the RICO charges. And his thing is now slimmed down to like, them are not serious charge. That's not a serious charge that he got nailed with. It's against the law, and we are law-abiding citizens, but it's not one of those top serious charges, you know? Racketeering out the window, sex trafficking out the window, you know, which would entail violence and coercion and all abuse and them thing that out the window. Transportation to engage in prostitution means me carry you and we went over there and we go buy some front. That's all that mean. And that's why I'm get catch with, right? Me carry you and we went over so to go buy some front. That's the charge. Transportation to engage in prostitution. I said yesterday, you know, if that's what he's charged for and he's found not guilty of trafficking. Trafficking meaning you move people against their will across certain lines, right? He was found not guilty of that. That means the jury saw that people went with him willingly. So how come him alone get charged for trafficking, not for trafficking? How come he's the only one that got charged for transportation to engage? Okay, we understand that they took a deal and they received immunity for their testimony. Makes sense. Now we know why Jane, who even though that man is paying for your lawyer up to this point, paying for the house you live in up to this point, giving you $10,000 every 30 days to go shopping up to this point, paying all your bills, flying you out, $100,000 shopping spree, all by her own admittance, still testify against the man. Because the feds came and the feds say, look, that transportation to engage in prostitution, that's a charge that we can prove that you actually, because you were there with him. You flew there with him. You went with him. And you admitted to participate in those activities with him. So you are his co-defendant. And they were like, no, give me I'll tell you everything. So they ended up taking the deal, right? And that's how they ended up. It's not because they're not guilty. It's because they took a deal from the state to testify against. It's like me and you commit a crime together and them look upon me and say, SouFlo, listen, you, Mervin, and King Biggs, we know for a fact, we have all the proof here, right? But we want to nail them properly. So we need somebody from the inside with inside details. We'll give you immunity for your testimony. And I took it. Oh yeah, that's where we're going to hang up, so. Call back. And I took it. So now I'm up there testifying against Mervin and against King Biggs. And the two of them I look for me and I said, Jesus Christ, what's SouFlo up there? Brother, no trail we go. I trail. The man never begs not one time when we are going. You ever hear him saying, don't want to go yet? Matter of fact, now him drive with us sometime. Now him call with sometime and tell we say him have a thing line up and we. Wow. This man up on the stand and testify because them tell him say him not gonna get no time. Just so them can get inside information for a week as a week and him. That's all that happened in Diddy's case. All right. Here we are at that point of his case, right? This is no, me thought John King Biggs. John, chill out. John can't be in everything all the time. We'll give John a break. See, that's all happening in his case, right? We've reached the point of sentencing now, and there are still people saying the man should be thrown under the jail and should get life in prison. These are all black people, by the way. You know, life in prison and all these things. And every one of them that I say to them, have you heard about the Mike Jeffries, the CEO of Abercrombie and Finch? Yeah, I heard it. Every one of them, I heard it. I said, what do you think about that? What is there to think about that? I said, how come he's out on bail? I don't know, because he didn't threaten anybody, maybe. But how do you know Diddy threatened anybody? It was all accusations. People are afraid of him. He's powerful. How come he didn't threaten anybody? Oh, I don't know, man. I just know that, Diddy guilty. So we're gonna lend the same energy this morning to the Abercrombie and Finch situation while we're talking about what is about to go down at Diddy's trial, not trial, but at his sentencing. Let me make this clear again. For the person who said I didn't do any research, you're talking to the wrong person, because that is all I do. Well, not all I do, but a big part of what I do. So I went and I looked up in the annals what that charge entails. It does carry 10 years max. However, it specifically says there it's a lesser charge. People who are first-time offenders or sometimes even second-time offenders, they normally get between 3 and 6 months in a county jail. I saw it said right there. They normally get between 3 and 6 months in a county jail for first and second-time offenders. In order to get the max of 10 years on that charge, you have to be a flagrant repeat offender. Like, you just don't care about the law. They just keep catching you doing this. So they're eventually going to say, you know what? Hit him with a 5 to 7, hit him with a 7 to 10, hit him with the whole 10 kind of thing. Sit him down for a while so he understands, because obviously he's not going to stop. But for first offenders, they've never had anybody who is a first offender who ever got 10 years off of this charge. He has 2 counts of this. That's 20 years. 10 for one, 10 for the other. Is the judge going to give him 20 years straight off the bat as a first offender? No, they're not. They had a meeting yesterday. The meeting yesterday was between the prosecution and the defense. Diddy wasn't there and the judge wasn't there. Prosecution and defense. Prosecution and defense came up to some kind of agreement with a disagreement. They agreed on October the 3rd to be the sentencing date. That's what was published. That's what we got. That's what we put out as the update. In the meantime, the prosecution is going for 50 something to 60 something months. It all boils down to about 5 years. These are the same people who said a few days ago, we're going to ask the judge to give him the max of 20 years. Days later, they're suggesting the judge give him 5 years. His team is asking for half of that, 2 years, 2 to 3 years. We're going to see what happens when he goes to trial. I've already said what I said about the judge. I'm not taking it back. Somebody said yesterday, you so biased and you calling that judge racist because the judge is Indian. I didn't call that judge racist because he's Indian, and you're not listening. Some people have listening comprehension problems. When we at school, them used to make we listen to stories. The story was given orally, and then you had to write about the story you just heard. It developed our listening comprehension skills. I guess they don't do that in schools anymore. I specifically said not every Indian is racist, just like not every white person is racist, right? So we're not speaking generally. However, in their community and in their culture, it is known that this is an embedded practice, that they harbor racist ideology, racist feelings towards people of African American descent. Right. So that not means I call him racist. It means he comes from a community where that is looked at as something that is almost a norm in their community. What are the chances of him not being that? We don't know. We'll have to see. But everything he has done in this trial so far has led me to see that he's leaning towards pleasing the prosecution, to handing the prosecution a win. Remember, I know, he's the first to be put in there. Kind of like somehow when you go certain places and you see you're the only fly in the buttermilk, you're the only black person in that room, whatever it is, your profession or whatever, you know when in a code switch, and you know when you have to, good afternoon, hey, how you doing? Yeah, and they tell you like, oh man, you're so different from the rest of them. You don't leave, you assimilate. You assimilate for your paycheck, right? Right. So kind of like that's what's going on with that judge right there. It's all going to come down to the judge in Diddy's sentencing. Okay. And I believe that he made another error, but showed us again along the lines of what I've been believing, because he could have given him bail on that charge after he beat the RICO and the more serious charges. He said, nah, deny the bail right away. You're sitting there. He was supposed to sit there till September. It was supposed to be September 12th or 22nd or something like that. Sometime in September was supposed to be a sentencing, and then they agreed on October 3rd. So now he's going to sit there for a couple more months or a couple more weeks until he is sentenced. Anybody who know jail knows that you don't want to be there for a day. He's there for way past the time he should be there, and he could get out, right? We're going to have to wait and see. Please remember this, whatever your opinion is, because a lot of people get all testy and start talking about, well, when it happens to your daughter, when your daughter meets somebody who is manipulative as he is and drag your daughter into, and I pray that your daughter don't pray for my daughter. Pray for your family member then. Because someone in there in some family with frig up. And have some people in there that's not doing too good. But you're out there on social media talking about I pray for. Don't pray for my daughter. Because some of the prayers is not good. I don't talk about them who wish me good enough. If you wish me good, I fling stone in the hog pen right now. If the hog pen, start and the stone lick you, then I use me a talk. If it's not because your heart good, then it's not, right? But stop that. Oh, wait till it's your daughter. Wait till it's your daughter. If it's my daughter, it's my daughter. She must have made that choice on her own. And I'm going to teach her about accountability. Yeah. I'm also going to teach her, or both of them, because I have two. I'm going to teach them about having their own things and having some pride and some dignity in themselves and some self-worth. That's why I tell them every day they're beautiful and they're loved, and I make sure that they're provided for so they see this. You understand? If you pay attention, and remember, sometimes you can't raise your children as best as you can, and boom, they go the wrong way anyways. It happens. It happens. What can you do? Nothing. You can pray that your child go back the right way. Hope the things you instilled in them start to kick in, because that's what happened to a lot of people. It wasn't like somebody didn't tell you. You knew right from wrong. You just chose wrong because you thought you had this figured out. And then sooner or later, the Miss Ruby and the Mass Cleavy teaching them start kicking as you grow older, and then you find yourself start going back on the right path and going down the right. That's life. That's life. So what if it happens to my daughters? I know one thing. I will look my daughters in the eye and say, you played a very big role in this. You obviously chose a lot of this. Don't lie on that, man. When he was flying you out and when you were like, hey, Dad, I'm saying, where you at? She's like, I'm in Paris. Oh, my God, it's so crazy. And I just went on $100,000 shopping spree, Daddy. It's crazy. I bought so many stuff. And I got some stuff for you. I'm like, $100,000 shopping spree, nigga. You don't have that kind of money. She's like, oh, no, Diddy has it. He paid for it. He's like, Dad, he's super rich. We came here on a private jet and all that. You think I'm not going to be there as a father being like, okay, so now you're a rich man's toy. Okay. What are you having to do to maintain all of this stuff he's giving you, Neka or Milani? Because, men with that type of power and money don't just give stuff up like that for free. Or is it things that you can't tell Daddy? Y'all be fake as hell trying to have fake conversation and come out here, ooh, she's such a victim. Oh, stop it. Stop it. 11 years. Almost 11 years of that. She a victim? Get the hell out of here. When people see private jet, mansions, lots of money, rent-free, bills-free lifestyle, you'll be surprised to know what a lot of them will do. And on top of that, your dreams are promised to you on a platter. You better talk to your children. Nobody pray for mine. I'm going to be real raw and honest with mine. If they choose to go that way, they know that they chose that way. All right. With that said, Audrey says, I would hope that my daughter would know that if a man don't love you, nothing you do will ever make him love you. Yeah, but also teach your daughter not to be conniving. You understand? Teach your daughter not to be conniving too. Like teach your daughter not to go after man's things. Teach your daughter not to go after man's things. It's a lot of men out here with things. And if your daughter loves things, she gonna be loving a whole lot of men. It's a lot of men out here love things. I'll give you an example, right? When I was growing up in Miami, going to school, there was a set of twins that came from Jamaica. Now, mind you, I left Jamaica early. So them twins here, by the time they came to my school, I'm thinking, let me see, this was around, they were a little bit older. So they're leaving Jamaica as teenagers then. Them pretty. I don't want to call them name because whoever went to school in that time must know them. They were so beautiful. Two Jamaican girls, twins. I'm not lying, but they want one, you know. Either one would have been good. Until the guys with the cars, Cadillacs on Trues and Volts, the guys with the guys with all the guys with all the stuff, the things. Though, as soon as they came from Jamaica, that's who they went to. And you know what happened to them? I was so embarrassed for us, feeling secondhand embarrassment. I told you all the story before that me get turned off from Jamaican girls, period. So I never dated any. I have never been with a Jamaican until I met who I'm with now. From growing up, because I used to see them come from Jamaica, and that the dynamics are different in the States. So we go to work here at 14 years old. For the kids who don't have no bills to pay and their mom and dad is like, just go get your work experience, right? You have your little job, you have your money coming in, you save your little paycheck, you buy yourself a nice car, you're going to school still. Them come school, fresh dress, in the latest whatever, and they have a nice little car. The girls them in a school run to them, that boy there, right? Man, they passed around them twin girls, the two Jamaican them. They passed them around because my school is North Miami Junior High and Senior High. My school is in the thick of the shits. My school is where the young hustlers used to go to. And then the next school over, when them done past them from Fimi school around, and everybody had some of them, and they used to walk down the hallway and talk about what they were doing to the twins and what they had the twins doing to each other. I mean, I look on the two girl them, and they used to be vexed and them come school crying because the American boys and the Haitian boys that was passing them around was like, them never care about them. And they would say it out loud for bragging rights. Then past them go over to Carol City Senior High. And they ran them through over there too, right? So they went from North Miami to Carol City. Run them through over there too. Tell your daughters that if things is what they like, because the twins, they liked cars. They liked guys that dressed nice and had pretty cars. And it was a whole heap of way back then where could have dressed nice and had pretty cars. Not me did broke. I couldn't do it. But the rest of them could, right? I was working and trying to pay bills at home and all that. A lot of them were out there in the dope game early, big cars, pull up to school, whole heap of gold in them out. They came from Jamaica, they got caught with all that. And man would have them for like 2 weeks and then pass them to somebody else and pass them and pass them and pass them. Till it got so embarrassing that everybody around the school talking about you, you got to switch schools. And then because with the track and field, the schools are closed, football games and whatnot, you start hear about them from way over there, so from other people over there too. It was just embarrassing. So teach your daughter them, moral of the story is, don't be a things girl. And if you're going to be a things girl about things that you can afford for yourself. Don't look for man for things and man things. Because ain't no man giving you his things for free. That way. You know, licky licky bad, King Biggs. Yeah. Ain't no man giving you things for free. Let's Bond TV said, bro, do crazy stuff without even the private jets and mansions just based off promises. People do absolutely. Absolutely. The singer, shit, he was with Sierra. When name again? Future. Future said they come around him straight. They leave bisexual. It's crazy what this money make them do. I know you say you don't do that, but I want to see you kiss her. They don't say no. I want to see y'all go a little bit further. This is how rich man get to stand up there and start like him. He's the producer in his own movie, and he is directing the actors. Unless you say I got Diddy did like though. That's what Diddy liked to do. He liked to be the director. He was like, turn it this way now. Did y'all watch the interview that I told y'all to watch? About the dude that went and testified, but did other interviews with No Jumper and the rest of the podcast. He was like, yeah, he was more like directing. So for him, and he didn't speak much. It was more like angles for him. You know, turn it this way, and he would never speak to me. He would like more like speak to Cassie, and very rarely did he use words. He mostly used like hand motions, like turn it that way and this way, so he could get a better view from where he's at or whatever. They got lots of money, man, and fame. You'll be surprised. Just make sure your daughter understand. So when she go over there, so that's what's gonna take place. That's all. Now, if she willingly go, don't come back crying and lying. That's what I'm saying. If you willingly go, don't come back crying and lying. And I never get the part where it's YOLO, you only live once, it's my life. Mind your business. Let me live my life. And then they go and live their life, and then they come back and like, somebody should have told me. Well, we tried to tell you. But you said, get out your business, leave you alone, let you live your life, stop trying to dictate your life, go live my own life. You know what I mean? They sound stupid. The first one that talk about you publicly should be it. They didn't care. I'm gonna tell you something. The twins that I'm talking about, they didn't care. They like, that's what was so shameful about it. They did not care. They would switch and go to the next guy who was then them Noah said he's friends with the other guys. You can, at one point it just started looking like they were being sold and passed around. Anybody on here who went to North Miami the same time I did, will remember me, the twin them, the Jamaican sister twin them, I don't want to call them name. I'll put it like this. Them have Indian in their family. I'll say that. You don't know who me I talk. Because it got to the point where they would be Gucci down every day, like all the name brand stuff. They would make sure they go shopping. They would make sure they had, back then, the fashion was like big gold bamboo earrings and whole heap of big gold jewelry. Them girls would come to school laced, and them just come from Jamaica, and them family did poor. So when them come and them poor, they were poor for about 2 weeks, poor looking, for about 2 weeks until they hit a lick. Once they hit that lick, it was over. After that, it was like, okay, if you ain't doing it no more, I'll go to the next person that's doing it and the next person that's doing it. And then they started laughing at us. Like, Jamaican girls are freaky as hell, yo. Hey, yo, brother, when I had that one over there, I was like, bah, I did this, and I flipped that hole that way, my nigga, and that other nigga was over there like that. I saw them talk about them, you know, and we over here like, Jesus, what such embarrassment. But we were hurt too because we couldn't get them. And to see who was getting them and what they were doing with them, it was like, damn. You know, when y'all look for somebody like, I'm with a wife, you know. But you know what? I mean, nobody wife, she want me want dirty dog, she want dirty boy. It's one of those kind of things, you know. Mm-mm. SouFLo and them peerless shoes. Lovely and they come. I couldn't get into the game. Me and my peerless shoes with me drawn Nike sign. That me couldn't get into the game. They never want me. They not even look my way. They were cool with me though. They used to be like, yo, what go on? And you know, we talk like that and everything. The last time I saw one of them first and then the other one came after was same place there, Bicentennial Park, Memorial Day weekend, best of the best. And we out there chilling. That's where I get to see like a lot of people who I went to school with, right? And they're like, yo, brother, you get so big. Like, you know, and them talk, I mean big in stature, because I was like skinny and I wasn't that tall when I was in school. I don't know, one summer came and I just shot up and, you know, 6 feet, then 6 plus, then 6 plus some more. But for most of my schooling, I wasn't that tall. So no, you know, when I get, it's a good conversation. You get to reminisce and go down memory lane with a couple of people, and that's where I ran into them last couple of years ago. And they actually look the same. After all these years, them look the same. So I don't know if them change them life and, you know, our rough life suit some people. Cause I don't know. You know, rough life do suit some people. Like if you look at crackheads be having like the body that you want. This no fun and joke aside. A lot of crackheads be having the body you want. Like 6-pack, chisel up, you know, shoulders broad and everything. I don't know if it's because they walk all day, so them do like calisthenics and burning calories, aerobics all day, because them walk to find the next hit. And when them high, them walk more till them find the next hit. And you just sitting there chilling at home on the couch. So you gain weight while them lose weight. Rough life do fit some people. Look on prison people. You know, I had one brother, I said, man, prison rough as hell. Like, how you spend your time? Because I seen the space that you in. And he was like, there ain't nothing to it. I just be in there working on my summer body. Even though I ain't coming out till like a couple of summers, but that summer I get out, I'm gonna be lit. So I'm in there working on my summer body. And we don't have that time there. We out here looking at them. I gotta be at work. Shit, I gotta get up at this time. I gotta take the kids here. I have to do that, run up here, let the build there, fix that over there. So they just sit in one place. All them do all day, eat, work out. Laugh, talk, work out some more. Talk some more, work out some more. We don't have that time. You know what I mean? So I have to be a crackhead to look good. Well, Karen noticed it could help you to lose a lot of weight. Yeah, it could help you. I'm not encouraging you to go down that route though. You know, crack coke. That could help you to lose a lot of weight. Might get you the body you desire, but it's gonna mash up the face. Because they all have the same look on the face. It's like a facial look. Y'all know that crackhead look? Just like an alcoholic. All alcoholics have the same look. Crackheads have the same look. Meth have the same look. If they on meth, I could tell. If they're on crack, I can tell. If you're a diehard alcoholic, I can tell. Them all have the same look. So you might get the body, but the face is gonna pay. You know what I mean? Your mouth are gonna start press on one side like this, because when they get high, they start doing something with their jaw. I think them jaw lock up or something. So you can see like doing like this with them jaw, and then when they not high, them jaw stuck like that. So when them talk to you, them start talk to you like this, you know what I'm saying? Man, I be out here just chilling, you know what I mean? I ain't seen you in a minute, blood. Where you been? You know what I mean? Life's good, can't complain, you know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna listen anyway, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me get $1. What? Let me get $1 real quick. You do like you doing real good, we get $5. You know what I'm saying? Let me like this right here. But that's true. So they all have the same look. They all have the same look. So you can get the body, but you might also get the face. So not might, you will get the face that go with it. You gotta decide what you want. You know, you want a gully back mouth and a nice body, or you want to stay how you stay. Yeah, and mash up your brain. That too. All the people who was calling in before, I promise I'll answer the phone now. Please call in. I spent too much to straighten my teeth twice. Nope, I'll stick to my chubby self. Mel says, wait, y'all stick to your chubby self, Mel. Marie's Message 411 TV in the building. Lovely Aneka is in the building. My two content creator sisters. If you see them in the chat, hit there and go. Did y'all go over to Marie's Message 411 TV yet and check out her story? I ain't gonna lie, I haven't done it yet. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure I do it today. I'm still reeling off of the last story. What Marie tell me. So you did, S Diva? I don't drink or do drugs, so I'll be the nerd that I am, says Karen Notice. BM says 3 teeth on top and 2 at the bottom, and they still fighting for space. They always seem to be in a hurry, says Sandra Ellis. Yeah, they always seem to be in a hurry. That's you in a hurry when you on coke or when you on crack. Coke and crack make you jittery. Like, yeah. I'm living in Brooklyn, right? Pretty girl. She was tall. One tall red girl. I'm not say her name neither, because you know the thing already. People have changed their lives and moved on. One tall red girl that I had sympathy for, but we didn't want to dig it to, you know, massacre. She was a 6-footer. And, you know, I know too much 6-footer girls out there. And she was super pretty. But she was in the streets. And I used to like look out for her when she came through my neighborhood, right? Crown Heights. After a while, I not see her for about a good 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm wondering, I'm like, man, I hope she all right. Because back then we young. You know what I mean? Back then we real young. I'm like 20, 19. England left England 20, 21. I was probably about 20, 21. And she was probably about 19, 18, 19. Anyway, she left for about 2 weeks or so. She was in a foster home. And the foster home, she has aged out of the foster home. And then they just put her out in the street because she aged out from the foster home. So I was like, she was telling us her story. And I'm like, you know, damn, you aged out of the foster home, they just throw you out in the streets like that? Like, they don't have any programs where they, like, send you out to school, you get some kind of certification, set you up in a little apartment, you know, give you a little start in life or nothing. She was like, nah, you know, they just, when you age out, it's time for you to go. Anyway, our brother pick her up off of the road because, you know, that was inevitable. Brother pick her up off of the road. She turned in a pillow and sheet for about 2 weeks at somebody's yard. And then she came back around our way when he got tired and kicked her back out to the streets, right? You got dudes like that. You go around, you pick up the homeless girls, clean her up a little bit, lock her in the house for like 2 weeks, beat her down, and then throw her back out to the streets, you know, go looking for a new one. It's like shopping. This is New York. New York have a lot of people. It's a lot of weird stuff going on. But me, I put on to them like that. So when she came back around, she kept doing like me. I talked to her and she sit down there, talk, then she would have done like this. She would go. I said, what's wrong with you? Why you keep doing, you scare me. Why you keep doing like this? And she was like, man, this man I was staying with, he put crack in the weed while we were smoking. And I said, you don't even smoke weed. And she was like, yeah, but you know, I decided I wanted to try it and stuff. And he put crack in it. And ever since I smoked it, I've been doing like this stuff. I always wondered what happened to her, like where is she at in life today. And I pray, I hope she's doing good. You know what I mean? I never met her again. After that, she left again and I never saw her again. And of course, my life changed, her life changed, because I went to the army, got up out of New York, and, you know, barely went back to that area. Never saw her again. But I hope wherever she's at, she's doing all right, man. She was young and pretty, and the streets could swallow you up. And she was out there in them streets on her own. I took a liking to her because her background was Jamaican. Her background was Jamaican. And she always did try. She was trying to understand patois more. So she would come around like me and the Trinidad brethren them and all this, but she would draw more to the Jamaican stuff because she was like, "Oh, you just like my family." And I don't know, my mom always bumbleclot this and bumbleclot that. And my dad, sometimes I can't even understand what he's saying. And she would say stuff that her dad said, and I would translate it to what it actually mean for her and all that sitting there. I hope she had the good though. And I hope she get rid of that something that did not go on with her still cause, you know, that thing there. Y'all be careful out there. From them time that me learn say, nobody can roll no split for me. If me decide to burn a split, it's gonna be me. Me and me alone. Right? Nobody can burn no split, no roll no split for me and talk about here, hit this, or nothing like that. So sad that people would take advantage of another. That anybody in here live in Brooklyn? Anybody in here live in New York? Anybody in here live in a big city? Big city life rough enough. Big city life is rough. There was a Jamaican dude in Brooklyn who came from Jamaica, and within the space of 1 year, because I remember when he first came from Jamaica, I know him family because they stayed on the same block where the barbershop was at that I was at. And within 1 year, just 1 year, one day I go down at the grocery store and I seen this person outside with, like, he had on a pants, only in pants on, big baggy jeans, dirty, some messed up sneakers, and he was out begging. And I couldn't see who the person was, but I was like, yo, that person that look real familiar. And when the man turned around and me can't see him whole face, I was like, Bumba clot. I want to him. I had to talk to him because I had to find out, like, what happened to you in a 1 year and you just reach here. You know what I'm to him? Him go smoke with people. This is in Brooklyn. Donna Davis saying the Bronx. The Bronx is up to, you know that. But this was in Brooklyn. He in 1 year, him said, Mr. Brother, you're gone all the way down the drain. You don't look good. You know, me I tell him, I say, you're gone all the way down the drain. You don't look good. You need help. Wish out your family there. Him say, man, the family good, man. And me don't need no help, man. I'm good to me just out here for me hustling. You know, and him take on all the mannerisms of a crackhead, like when him talk, him move and jittery and like I gotta go and something to wait for me, you know what I'm saying? And him mixing the Yankee talk with in 1 year, mixing the Yankee talk with the Jamaican talk, like his mind was so into street life now, American, Brooklyn specific street life now. I look at I figured, damn, I couldn't save him. I couldn't save him. But them streets will swallow you up, man. You know? Again, back to what we started talking about. If you have daughters or sons, you have to educate them about the world around them. There are always vultures out here. There are always predators out here. We all know this. We all know this. Joined the military from Flatbush, Miss Goldy Robinson. Miss Goldy Robinson, you joined from Flatbush? I joined from, I saw you went over to, what's the depth station called? You joined from Flatbush, I joined from Crown Heights. Same thing with a youth that work at Park Mark. Park Mark is what I was talking about. A Park Mark, me go see him outside on the front page. Yeah, man, the man crack out. Him look like him crack out in a 1 year. Just 1 year. Young too. Yes, Miss Goldy Robinson. We went to through the same depth station then. Yeah, King Biggs, the man crack out in a like 1 year, bro. I was like, yo, that was fast. That was fast. Me have a cousin, you see. My cousin came in the house one day, in his mom's house. His mother is a registered nurse, RN. She there at work and she work whole heap of hours. This is New York. And him have a sister. So she have a boy and a girl. And my female cousin says she in at the house because she called us. She in the house. She said she come home and she sit down chilling. You know, you come from school, you watch some TV and relax yourself a little bit. And her brother came in the house. and him starts to the same thing over and over. Like he was like, learn campaign news for you. Learn campaign news for you. Learn campaign news for you. And she said at first, she was like laughing and she was like, boy, what y'all say? It sounds funny, but me I try to figure out what y'all said. She said after about 1 hour, when him stop on learn campaign news for you, learn campaign news for you, she start look on him. And she realized him look completely glazed over and completely different. So she go lock herself in our room, one of her room them, and call her mother. And her mom is at work, and her mom had to rush come home, and then them call us. And we were up the street, right? So when everybody rushed, go there and everything, a straight jacket, them take him out, you know. You know, the white jacket, they put you and lock your arms behind you like this. I got them take him out, you know, and carry him to go get some help, right? He was in an institution. We didn't see him for a good 6 months. My cousin slim, tall. After 6 months, we're up on front page again. I'm at the barbershop. And I seen this person coming to the barbershop, fat, and moving slow like this. If Carrie did not come across the street, it would have taken him down. So, I mean, I say, who does a walk across the street like this? You live in Brooklyn, man, you seen anything, especially back then. And when him get closer to me, I almost cry. It was my cousin. And drool, him a drool all time mouth, so the drool just run down him chin. Him don't even feel the drool for wipe it off. But he wasn't saying, learn campaign terms for you. He wasn't moving like that no more. But this was his communication now. I say, all right, him say, yeah man, everything good. Me just I can't check on you to see what go on with you, you know? I say, damn. Me I try talk to him to see if him can talk faster. Man can't talk faster, he can't move faster. Him laugh. Him turn. All if you tell him, say, yo, see something that look right there, so. Him are the last person to say that. That probably gone left him. Yeah. And again, he went smoking. Him was a smoke with some friend. And him friend them lace up the weed. And him left which part him there with them and go home. And you know, and they lived in a high-rise building too. So I'm glad him never like go up on him balcony and fly from there so or anything like that. But I haven't seen him in years either. But the last time I saw him was the same thing as the other. Because I left, man. I went off to the army. It was just so much around. You know, for sure, so the streets can. But yeah, the psychotic effects from medication sometimes will slow you down like a zombie, says the Buffalo Soda Rest, which I'm absolutely aware of now. But back then, we weren't aware of these things. So it was weird to us, you know? I remember even Vernon. Vernon is here between Union and Bedford. I mean, on Union Street between Bedford and Franklin Ave. If you're ever in New York, go check out that barbershop. That's where I actually started. That guy, Vernon, is my mentor. I learned so much from him. And he's a Trini. That's why I keep on I tell people, say, this Trini against Jamaican thing and Jamaican against Trini thing, I can't be a part of it and I don't understand it because I've always been around Trinis and they always been good to me, right? Them lead, direct, teach me, and I learned a lot from them, not just in New York, but in the UK as well. Albie is here. Albie is here. It's another barbershop and beauty salon, and Albie is Trini to the bone as well, right? With his cousin and his family members and friends, man, I truly got to experience like Trinidadian culture, because we would leave and go over Albie mother house, and she would take me like her son, you know. And for them houses very traditional. You have to come there on a certain day, food cook and all kind of Trini food in the house. I got to taste all kinds of stuff. It's the first time I went to soca fete. Then I started fetting real hard at the soca events. But anyway, even Vernon was saying to me, was like, "Why, Sean? What to your cousin, boy?" I said, "Boy, Vernon, I don't know. From the other day when him, I don't know if Vernon remember this. He was like, what to your cousin, boy?" I said, "Boy, he just came in the barbershop." Actually, he walked right in the barbershop and stood up in the middle of the shop. Walked past me outside and stood up in the middle of the shop, and he was just staring. And the drool was just running out his mouth like that. I mean, I forgot to talk to him. I was like, "Cuz, what to you? You all right?" You know, I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm good. Just come for check on you and see what go on, you know." And I seen he wasn't all right, right? Kaz Robinson said, "Yes, SouFlo. So people they call friends will F you up with that roll up. I see it happen to special person, and the night I was there to save them." Yeah, don't smoke from nobody. I don't drink from nobody. I learned my lesson because they caught me in the UK. They caught me in the UK. I tell the story before. I like tell it to me. I tell it again. I go out one night. I was around a group of what you call hippies when I was in the UK. I wanted to be free. I was young. First time away from home. Just turned 18. They were people who would like go up to Scotland and Ireland over the weekend just for a backpack weekend trip or whatever. I'm living in London, so I'm like, yeah, we can get to see different places and go to some of these raves and stuff, experience different cultures. You know, I mean, they are jungle rave. We used to go to garage parties and all these things. And I seen them doing their thing, but then with respect when I said, no, I'm not into that. But there's this one particular night. We went to a nice rave. You know, it was like house music being played over some soulful. It was like Aretha Franklin, Anita Baker, but then put it to house music beat. That doonch, doonch, doonch. But you hearing Aretha Franklin, Anita Baker say, "Yeah, dance and yeah, enjoy yourself." Everybody is well dressed and nice and stuff. Remember the same people who always telling me about try some of this, mate. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I see what that do to people. I don't want none of it. I made a mistake that night. The girl said to me, "I'm up on the dance floor." She said, "Cause you know it loud in there, so you signal like you want something to drink." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Well, to come back, 2 drinks. She give me mine. I didn't think nothing of it. I drank, but I didn't drink that much because I was dancing. I'm gonna put it down. I never went back to that drink. The one little drink when I drink and put that down, I felt like I went 10 levels up. I don't know how any other way to explain it. Like I went like 10 levels up instantly on the dance floor. I was like, wow, this is weird. Yeah. So I said, shit, I'm going to the bathroom real quick. I went to the bathroom. I didn't come out the bathroom until that place shut down and nobody else was there. The people I was with, they know the owners of that pub. So when them clean out the place and everybody gone, then they start coming around me in the bathroom. I'm in the bathroom hugging the friggin' public toilet. You talk about toilet where people go shit in there now. Public toilet where people piss drunk and miss and piss up all. Me I hug up the toilet there. And I'm trying to vomit and I can't. I remember that. I'm like, nothing now come out. Just air. And I start praying. I was like, God, please, whatever this is, because I'm sure I'm gonna die. Please take this off of me. What's going on? Like the night would not end. And then the music outside, you can hear it in the bathroom is like doomch, doomch, doomch. After a while, the music there with that one beat, they doomch, 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 doomch. I mean, in there, nobody no come check for me or nothing, no. Until the place clear out. When the place clear out, I started feeling a little better. but I still feel frig up. Them coming there and get me. I don't remember any much more of what happened except for it dawned on me right then that it was her that put something in my drinks. The same people who me there with and trust put something in my drinks. Because they pop pills and they do coke and them do all other kind of stuff. This could be a warning to anybody out there. Don't hang around people who you see doing stuff thinking, oh, they cool people, I'm gonna hang out with them, but I don't do that stuff. You know, when Granny tell us that birds of a feather flock together, she never lie. Birds of a feather flock together. So if you hanging out with druggies or crackhead, they're going to try their very best to make you the next crackhead, junkie, druggies in the group because you're not a fit, right? Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hey, SouFLo, morning.
Morning, fam. How you doing?
Good. I got a story to give you, man. I thought I think everybody, the Jamaican guy up in my area that murdered his wife, man. You know? Yeah. So I think you could have one.
Wait, is it the one in the Bronx?
Leisure Road, Maryland. It's called. If they live in a gated community, where it comes in called Leisure Road, where they got 8,000 residents live here, but they're 99% they're white. The Jamaican guy lives there with his wife. His wife, I think, is a doctor. But he's 88-year-old and his wife is 78. And it's all over the news.
They're Jamaican?
Yeah, Jamaican guy, man. This guy, I know this guy real good, man. He's good.
Man, I saw the story yesterday, and it is on major news. I saw the story yesterday, and I thought, damn, a senior citizen killed his wife. Like, they're both seniors. They're close in age. I think the age is like a year or two difference, right?
He's 80 and she's 78. His name is Vivian Nation, and her name is Audrey Fletcher. And I know them real good. I went to the birthday party. Yeah,
wow.
So if you want, check it out. But this man, there's people here, they're mad because, you know, Leisure is his place, man, and it's getting community. You can't even get in that place. You know, call. You know, and it's all white people over there. So, you know, that's what.
I didn't see the link that you sent me, but I did see the story yesterday. And honestly, I right past the story because I thought, damn, it's an American story and whatever, but they're Jamaican.
No, he's a Jamaican guy.
Okay.
I gambled with him. We played poker, we played domino, we go to the racetrack. I know him real good. I saw this guy last year, man. He was trying to talk to him, but he's looking too. I was a jolly guy, but his face, man, his facial expression was like different. So I thought something was wrong. But they say got dementia.
That's what I was gonna ask you. What did you see different about him?
Yeah, I saw him in the elevator, and I said, man, I haven't seen him in a long time, you know, because you know, I used to work for I retired now. I work for Comcast, but I used to work in the building sometimes. Because you know, when they call a lot of stuff, they go here just a remote, then you pattern the remote for the TV and stuff like that. But
right,
yeah. I ran into him at the time in the building, and we spoke together, and then we gonna hang out. But then I haven't seen him because I went over the country for a couple of weeks, and I came back and I called him and I didn't hear some time. So you know, but yeah, somebody I know real good, bro. Real good, man.
You said they said he has dementia.
Yeah, that's what. At first when they arrested him, they, you know, but the second time when they put out the news again, they say, but they arrested, man. They charged for what do you call it? Some murder, first degree murder. But then they said they run some tests on him for they just want to find out if he got dementia for real or, you know. But he went to the on Monday he went to the hearing, whatever they call that hearing. So he went to that on Monday. I don't know the outcome of that.
Yeah, the arraignment.
The arrangement, yeah.
Yeah, it's arraignment.
I'm
gonna dig up the story and see what the details are about it.
And this guy is a good. I mean, I don't know, man. That's up me, man. I can't believe God. He's a good guy, man. He's a good person. I don't know, man.
Man, life could throw you some curveballs, huh?
Everybody love Mr. Nation, man.
Life can throw you some curveballs, fam.
Yeah, man. It makes my head up. Anyway, man, that's what I'm calling you about, okay?
All right, I'll look into it.
Man, this guy, man, he killed his man, shot his wife in his head like ice. Up in both are smoking crack and they get high and then he shot her.
That's another one.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. Jamaican guy did it.
Right.
Anyway, man. Anyway, bro.
All right, brother.
Easy. All right, cool.
Manners. Boy, we're drawn to the we are drawn to the tragedy stories, eh? But you know, at the end of the day, I guess that's what draws attention. I guess that's what draws attention. We can learn from these stories. I'm a studier of human condition. You know, I'm not so much about the gory details. I'm more about human condition. Like I told y'all before, I like to. So if I work in or when I am working in the geriatric population, I love it because I love talking to the people who are 90 and 100 years old. Come and talk to them, and I get to figure out, like, you know, the stuff they've been through and what brought them this far and what ailments they're going through. Even I like to study like what it is they're sick with now and try to figure out from them, when was the onset, when you first realized that that was happening to you, because it's really bad now, but and it's been a journey, but when did you first realize? And they're like, well, I was around 45 years old about 45 when I first realized that. Like, there was one guy I was talking to and he was like, I was 38 years old, man. I used to drink a lot. And one day, I remember I was drinking scotch, just no on the rocks or anything. I poured me a scotch, and next thing I was looking at feet all around me. He poured his scotch, and next thing he was looking at feet all around. He took a drink, and next thing he was looking at feet all around me. I said, what do you mean looking at feet all around you? He said, from me taking that drink, I hit the floor. And I was having a massive stroke at 38. And I couldn't do anything for myself. And it was like having an out-of-body experience. So I'm laying there on the floor, and all I see is these feet. And the feet were the feet of the paramedics had come. The people in my house were running around me. And everybody's talking and screaming was in like, wow, wow, wow kind of tones. You know, he's explaining all this to me. I'm intrigued by those types of information because it puts me in a place where I'm like, damn. So that can happen to you at 38, for sure. And he ain't never recovered from it. Never recovered from it. He's the guy who I said was super inappropriate sometimes, and he was like, man, I haven't had some vagina in so long, you know, and the nurse, there was this one nurse that used to come in them tight ass scrubs. See, I'll be thinking I say stuff off the wall. I'll be saying stuff that I've been through or witnessed. There was a nurse at this facility that used to come with some tight ass scrubs. Like if she was wearing French cut, G-string, thong, anything, even I could tell the color of the underwear she was wearing, how tight them damn scrubs was. And she would drop stuff and bend down when it's me and her alone in the room. And you know when a woman bend down and her pants right down so you can just see the thong or the G-string. And sometimes I used to be like, oh, I guess you went with red today. And she was like, oh my God, you saw it, and try to pull on her top. Next day is, oh, I guess yellow is your color for today. You know, that's the most I would say about that. And then when she would leave the room, he would be like, I just want to, like, I can't do anything because when I had my stroke, they cut the inguinal line. So I have to go look up all these things now. So I said, when you have stroke, what happens to your penis? More I find out them thing here. And there's this, your main vein that brings oxygenated blood to your teely-weely. Them clip that. And so his teely never got any more oxygen after that, after them clip it off. And it shriveled until it turned into a belly button. Looked like a belly button. He said, I can't do anything, but I just want to, like, you know, put my fingers in it and taste it and smell it a little bit. Because this happened to him. Could you imagine at 38? Brother, at 38, you're supposed to have fire like a rocket. At 38, you're in your prime man prime. and this happened to you. The love for Pum Pum never left your mind. It's still there. You can't have no more, and ain't nobody lined up to date you. You understand? So now you're stuck in this position. This is why this was interesting to me. So now you're stuck in this position. He's a well-off guy too, like financially well off. All your money can't save you. Ain't no woman looking to come your way at this point. They can't see you because you're in a facility. So all him can do is lay there, look for the nurse them, inappropriately proposition them and hope one of them catch it. And talk about how him would have like for just figure it and smell it and see if him can taste it a little bit or something. This is me and him having a conversation while we're doing therapy, you know? And I have to remember that life goes on, even in what he's experienced. He's still human. He still has the want and the need, the desire, because it's innate. That's how humans are wired. You're created like that. You go want something on somebody, on some affection, right? That's me, SouFlo. I love to talk to them about their experience. Yeah, I like to get deep in it. I was even telling wifey, I said, you know, at one time I was at one particular facility. They used to call me the death angel. I said, please don't call me that. They were like, nah, because every time you predict that somebody is going to die, they don't make it through the weekend. It wasn't because I was no death angel. It was because I paid close attention to the people them. That's why when I hear me say, I don't want to age out up here and I think a joke me I make, me see how them don't pay attention. Me go analyze that patient for myself. I realize, say, you ain't going to make it. You on your last leg. Me say my goodbye and everything. Me I leave for the weekend. I say, I'll throw a name out there, obviously not a real name. I said, Mr. Jones ain't going to make it through the weekend. Why you say that? I said, he on his last leg. But y'all have a good weekend, though. I'll be back on Monday. Monday, I walk in there. Everybody just a stare upon me. I'm like, what? Why is everybody just death angel? Why are you calling me that? Remember Friday when you said Mr. Jones is not going to make it through the weekend? He passed this morning. Passed last night. Are you serious? They're like, yeah, I'm dead serious. So I tell the wife and say, every time one of the patients pass, I'm so curious about life. I go right up to, before they get cleaned up and everything. So I get to learn that how they're cleaned up and prepared to be picked up for the coroners to come get the body from the facility, all this other stuff. Me catch them with their mouth wide open and them eye wide open and they're laying in their bed just like. And I go close to them because this is somebody I was just working with. And they were so full of life and hope. And one of them, I remember, man, this lady told me, she said, if I stay in here, they're going to kill me. I don't want to stay in this facility. I want to go home. I live by myself and I do things for myself. I'm independent. I want to go home. And they tried everything to keep that lady in there until she dropped. And it was all downhill from after she dropped. I remember she fall on the weekend. I wasn't there. When I came back in Monday morning, they're like, she gone out for hip surgery. I said, hip surgery? At her age, she 90-something years old. I said, that's a death sentence. They're like, nah, she'll be all right. I said, who recommend she get hip replacement at fair age? Have you ever seen a video of a hip replacement surgery? I implore all of you to go watch, because at some point in life, you're either probably going to get one or a knee replacement surgery. Watch them two video there. At some point in life, you're probably going to get one, or you're probably going to have a close family member of yours get one of these. That's a radical rotted surgery. So when they told me that she had that, after this woman just tell me, say, I don't want to stay in this facility. I want to go home. If I stay here, I'm going to die. They're going to kill me. She sure the hell died. I walked in that morning. They were like, your friend passed away. Because I used to like try spend extra time with her, even though you really can't, because you have a schedule and you have to meet productivity level and whatnot. So you running from patient to patient. But I always used to try check on her and tell somebody that she need this and go check on her again more than I don't know. Me just take a liking to the little old lady because she was 90, believe she was like way up in her 90s, and she lived by herself the whole time. And the only reason she ended up in that facility is she was walking down some steps at her front door. She plant all our food. She eat all our own food. What she plant. She don't grocery shop. She live off her land, right? And she is almost 100. She was going down her steps and slipped, and she tried catching herself. And at that age, when you slip and try to catch yourself, a lot of the times it ends up in a broken bone. So falling at that age is not the same as falling now when you're young and you drop and you just bounce back up. And you know, I would encourage most of you out here too, while we're all aging, to get some training in. Listen to me, get some training in. I'm talking about lifting weights, pressing, pushing, and pulling weights, because it will add to the density of your bones. Because as you get ill, as you age, as you can go look this up, as you age, as you get older, you're going to start to lose muscle mass. And as you lose muscle mass, you're also going to start to lose density in your bones. So your bones are going to become more brittle. That way, when you fall and you try to catch yourself, it don't end up being a broken wrist or a broken shoulder or a dislocated or broken hip or something like that. That's what happened to her. Slip on our front step, try to catch herself, broke her wrist, ended up at the facility. While she ended up at the facility have rules, laws, and regulations and all that. For those of you in the med field who work in these, you know that them can't just, especially if you have good insurance, they can't just throw you out the facility. Home assessment has to be done because the way you came in there was from an accident that happened at home and you were living by yourself. So we can't just release you back to the same unsafe conditions, right? So insurance is going to pay for that. Okay, well, we need to get a home assessment done to see if it's safe, and they will go into the home space and make accommodations like, okay, her bathtub is too high, she might slip. Oh, remember, the woman never have no problem with all this before. Suddenly you slip one time and you can't go back in your own house. You see, if me there Jamaica and me slip and broke my hand, I go back on my yard. Them not care about, we have to fix the steps at the front of the house and let's go there and see if the bathtub is too high, or you can rearrange the door is too narrow. He's not going to be able to fit through there safely if he gets into a wheelchair and all these things. Your ass slip here and broke your wrist and try to catch yourself at old age. Them a lock you in a rotted facility, friend, until them figure out and them start run one bag of tests. Next thing you hear, well, I'm passing one day, me hear them, I want HR, one I facility them. They're like, how much is her house worth? You know me, I listen. How much is her house worth? I said, what the fuck? Why are they talking about her house? I looked it up. It was on the market for, it's valued at about 300 and something thousand. So, well, we can put her house on the market. We could quick sell her house and use the money to that poor lady down the hallway saying she want to go home. Y'all up here planning to sell her house and figuring ways to keep her in the facility? Yo, that's where I first learned about that too. That's why I went in to hear me say, me no want age out ya. That's why. All right. SouFlo, man, you get Andrew idea to make money. Boy, now me I try to save my audience member them so them can say to themselves after them leave this. I wonder what SouFlo did I talk about. Some feel like some I lose muscle mass and my body are turning a fat and my bone them I get weak and thing. Can't bend my knee them and squat and go down no more and them something that Because you're becoming a fall risk. You're becoming a fall risk. All right? You need to start move again. You need to start exercise again, even if you do it in your house. You need to start stretch out yourself again. You need to start lift up some heavy something again. Do repetitions of. You need to start get your affairs in order as well. Like, where's your house gonna go? What happens? Because I'm telling you, they be happy as hell. You have some good insurance and a nice house, and you slip and fall in this America and you get frig. And don't think your children can just come take the house. Oh, they're next in line, so they get it. And I saw it work. And I saw it work. All right. It's about the bottom line at the end of the day, says Roddy's daughter. Mrs. Somebody say, I saw you know we young. This message is for anybody in them 30s. In them 30s, because here may I tell you, say, the man will have the massive stroke him did in him 30s. So if you're anything past 35, this is for you. And don't think it can happen before that, because it can. All right, it can. Remember the girl I told you all about that she was like, she kept saying that, right? Me feel so sorry for her because she was a sister and she young and she never have proper insurance. So the facility was taking care of her out of the mercy of being humane, but nothing that was available to help her was available to her. So then park you in our room over so in our facility where you share it with everybody else who don't have insurance, and you just had a stroke and you can't get no therapy and nothing like that. When you put on affairs in order, you know, listen to me now. Because she was a sister, in my mind, I'm like, yo, you gotta be in these spaces to advocate for your own too. Her family came by me in the therapy room and they were like, can I talk to you for a minute? So I went and talked to her mom and her sister, and they were like, her sister was like, my sister don't have no insurance, man. And you know, she just had a stroke and she can't understand nothing we saying, and we can't understand nothing she's saying. And she don't get no therapy or nothing. I said, where's she at? They told me what room she was in. I said, has she been assessed for therapy? And they said she don't qualify. I said, damn. The sister said, the same thing happened to our grandmother. And she didn't have no insurance either. But the therapist was nice enough to tell the caretaker like what to do with her. So it helped her a lot. Can you do something like that for my sister? I felt so bad for them. I was like, damn. When we go look on her, young as hell. And they put up pictures in beside our bed. Like they did a spread of about 15, 20 pictures beside our bed, like, and blow them up of her life. I try to get her to remember she. This is where I first saw Wernicke's and Brokers Aphasia up close and personal. Textbook. I looked at her pictures, and every picture was, you know, when them take picture for Instagram and then would have put like one body on the sink, and you know, so the body look big and plump on the jaw side there, and she in a little tight shorts, and the next one she bend over like this at the club, or some boy at the back of her with two hands on her back like this. Next one, she hold a stack of money over here, so, and a big bottle of champagne over here, so. Next one, that was all her pictures. So the sister was like, this is who she is, basically. She's the life of the party. She loves the party. Me, I say, yo, me can't see it. But for sure, you how this family is so, like, my Jamaican family was so conservative, them wouldn't come put up them picture there in our medical facility with me. Her family, that's the norm. So they put these pictures up there. When I went to go talk to her, I realized She could understand exactly what the hell everybody is saying. She understood perfectly what everybody is saying. Y'all should go look up Warnickies and Brokers Aphasia. She could understand everything I was saying. She thinks in her mind she's communicating clearly with me. Imagine having a condition where when you speak, you sound normal to yourself, but everybody else outside of you hears tapatapai, katapatatapatai, tikatapatapai. That's all she kept saying. And she would get so frustrated. She would get so frustrated because she's trying to say, that's not what I'm saying. Cause me, I try, like, are you talking about this? Could it be this? she, oh, like, damn. Life have some curveball for throw, you see, Fred? That's why that's what being in this environment teaches me. That none of us are above these things. Life have some curveball for throw. You don't know when is yours or what yours gonna be. You heard me? Yeah. Mel says Medicaid will keep all of the equity from the sale of the house if you have assets. The spend down period is 5 to 7 years prior to being admitted. The nursing home gets to keep all but $70 of your funds. And there might be people in here like Mel and others who are in that part of the business, who understands that part, and they will better explain to you. All I'm telling you is when I'm passing their office and I hear how much is her house worth, go look it up. I looked it up. It's like 300 and something thousand. That's good money. We can't. I'm definitely in for the conversation because I'm like, why the fuck? Why are they in here discussing how much the woman house costs? And the woman down here so I said she want to go home. Yeah. So when you hear me say I don't want to age out here, don't want to age out here, friend. Don't want to age out here. Yeah. Mervyn the Point, Jamaica Curse. I told brother I've seen it. The Buffalo Soldier says, so the rest says, I was already looking it up and I knew aphasia, but just the types I needed to understand. Yeah, you have brokers and Warnicki's aphasia. Two different types. Right now, what's that famous actor's name again? I just saw him the other night, and Whitney Houston was singing because he was in a movie with Whitney Houston, and Whitney Houston was singing the "I Will Always Love You" song, and him looked so. He looked like there were moments of him remembering what that was, wanting to engage and feel emotional, and then switch back to. I was just analyzing his behavior while he was going through Kevin Costner, while he was going through it. But who's the actor who has that's who has that now? Wendy Williams. They misdiagnosed Wendy Williams, and that's where they got in trouble at because these conditions are degenerative. Degenerative simply means there's no coming back from this. They can try to do things through therapy to help you to stall or stave off as much as they can, but it will always just get worse and worse and worse gradually over time. So all therapy does is keep you from going all the way there to the worst extreme, like immediately. Try to get you the best quality of life for as long as we could, right? When they diagnosed Wendy with frontotemporal dementia, which is a degenerative disease, and then they tested her and she was doing, Bruce is who it is, Bruce Springsteen. When they tested Wendy and Wendy was back to being better than before, that simply proved that whoever diagnosed her with that didn't know what the hell they were talking about, because if that's what she actually had, it would have just been right where it was at before, or it would have just kept getting worse and worse and worse. She no possible way she could have gotten that much better that quick. You don't move back to the other side of the spectrum that far. Matter of fact, you don't move back to the other side of the spectrum. Right. Bruce Willis it is. Patricia Jackson, thank you. Bruce Willis. So they were like, yeah, Wendy Williams has the same thing that Bruce Willis has. Don't you notice Bruce Willis is not improving? Because it's a degenerative disease. It's not going to improve. He's lucky he has real love around him and him have real family surrounding him, and he has a lot of money that he can afford the best care in the world. I want you to think about the people who don't. That's a frightening friggin' thing to happen to you. And then you're surrounded by strangers. You don't have the resources and all these strange faces around you. Life, man. Life. Yeah. Nance, I think exactly the same thing too. I think they tried to silence Wendy as well. Donna Davis says, I witnessed patient like that. Mom put everything in her name. She got sick. They want to sell everything, and mom don't know where to go. I've witnessed many times. You see, I talk from a real place, right? So when we do like topics like where you hear me talk about people that are gonna end up lonely and stuff like that because of the way you are now, and the last time I did a topic like that, it was so many women on here that were saying, yeah, the man them always end up lonely, and there's so many dynamics to this. But I've seen a lot of women who ended up lonely too. And they end up lonely in these facilities. They can't even get a visit. And it's sad to watch everybody else get visits day after day after day. And nobody comes to visit them. And then boom, out the blue, you hear her son is here. Son? I've been here 2 months. She got a son? Yeah, she got 2 sons. One's here now. The other one came yesterday. How often do I come to see her? About once a year, maybe twice. They live in another country or something? No. She was a piece of shit as a mom to them. That's what it is. You know how medical people talk. She was a piece of shit as a mom to them. That's what it is. They fucking hate her, but they only come here like when it's time to sign stuff, or like this one, he has control of all her assets and stuff like that. She did really good in life, you know. That's why you start to hear about her life, right? She did really good in life, you know. You don't know when your downfall is coming. You plan and you think, okay, so this year I'm going to set this in place, and then I'm going to do this, and then next year I'm going to do that, and then anything happens after that, I'm set, and boom, what you didn't want to happen happens now. Before you get to that, anything happens after this, I'm blessed, I'm set, right? Right. So I see them stories a lot, man, and it's sad. It's sad. And the children, the children, that's why I say I can't take good care of you. Picking them and them still come out. You hope they remember you. You hope they remember the good things you did for them, the kind of childhood you gave them, and all that. Chances are they will. But there are always those who are just straight up ungrateful. Can't wait till you're dead. Some are stuck in that facility, some can't enjoy. You know how long more I'm moving in that house, yeah? Me have to figure out how can I modernize the house now and change it up. I always wanted to knock down this fence and put up this, that. And she have the money we can do it too. And I'm in charge of all the money. So I'm gonna fix up the place, look at modern style and act like say our minds and me work for it and earn it. Yeah, there's some wicked ass people out there, man, that's in your family. It's your children, them too, and your spouse too. And you get to see who doesn't come to visit. There was this one lady, 2 different dynamics. They shared the same room. One of them, her husband lives close by. They all did well in life. He lives close by the facility, and he almost never comes to see her. He comes to see her like once every 2 weeks. And her roommate, her husband also lives close by, and he comes to see her every single day, multiple times a day. This man treat the facility like says an extension of his house. Like he's there in the morning when it's time for visiting hours to open up. Him first did it. And him use cane and everything. And him first did it. Now this is the early morning hours where they're gonna go take his wife to the shower, or get her ready for the day, do our personal hygiene, get her up out of bed, get dressed, and get down to the dining hall for breakfast. Him there right there. It means right there, making sure she put on what she wants to put on for the day. You know what I say? I'll meet you in the dining when them wheel her off, figure get her shower. He said, I'll meet you in the dining room, honey, and him kiss her, him bring flowers like so them up on date. Yo, you should see it. And him sit down and wait. Some days he is like, I won't be back for lunch, but I'll be back for dinner. And dinner time come, and she's like, I don't want to eat what they serving in here today. And he said, what do you want to eat, honey? And then bring her what she wants to eat from outer road, and them going at the same dining hall and spread it. You could see on the women's faces, especially her roommate face. You can't see, I don't know what to call it when I see on her face. Some jealousy, some hurt and regret, but it's like, yo, that man then now left him wife. One of the nurses said to me one day, she said, the crazy thing is, he's probably going to end up in here with her, because they're old, they're super old, and they're end of life stages. Once he can't take care of himself at home anymore, he's probably going to end up in here with her. I said, shit, he'll be happy as hell, and she will too. All that's going to happen is they're going to be having them one room where they have medical attention at their feet and fingertips 24/7, and that's that. But they'll be in the same room. Choosing somebody in life, boy, is super important when we look on. That's what I learned from them people that when I look at stuff like this, I'm like, you can't only wish for them someday, So I guess some people are lucky and some aren't. How you live down the street from your wife and you come see her every 2 weeks? And this man comes to see his wife every day, multiple times a day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Sometimes he's like, I can't make it for lunch today, but I'll definitely be here for dinner, and he is there for dinner. Another 13-week rotation at another facility, and for the whole time I was there, he was there every single day that I worked, like clockwork. Yeah. Raddy's daughter said it's super important who you choose in life. It is. It is super important who you choose in life. When we're young, we don't really think about that, right? When we're younger, we don't really think about it. When we're middle age, enough we still don't think about it. When you really should be thinking about it. When you get all nobody now check for you like that, what them want you for? You think you're going to meet somebody in the nursing home and have companionship? There's some wild stuff that go on in the nursing home with them elders, though. Now, this part funny. But look what they're coming for. Because some of the old man them in a nursing home, them parts work, So next thing you know, them up in one of the old girl them room, and the old girl them wanted to, so things go on in the same nursing home there and everything. It don't stop. It don't stop. Life don't stop. Reggae girl says some people don't accept sickness and separation. It's a lot to process. That's true. That's true. And I don't, but I don't want a partner that's gonna tell me that. I said, why you don't come see me? Because I just can't accept that you're sick. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFLo.
Morning, family. How you doing?
This topic is kind of touchy. We need to get deeper with it.
It's a wake up,
Yeah. Me experience all aspects of this from a personal level, with having a family member in a facility, and actually working in a facility and taking care of patients myself. So me get to experience it from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you something, SouFlo. Back in 2013, my mother get sick with lung cancer
Mm-hmm.
and she was dying. And I years know me, I take care of people, you know. My mother used to do the same thing in a nursing home. And she tell me, she say, if anything happened to me, do not put me in a nursing home. If you put me in a nursing home when me dead, me I go come back and haunt to me.
Yeah.
And that my mother tell me.
Yeah.
She said, me want to take my
And
last breath
she know
at
firsthand too.
home with my family.
She know firsthand too. Like what going in there.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Right. So we carried out her request.
Mm-hmm.
But before that, SouFlo, when she did go to hospice,
Mm-hmm.
me go to hospice go see my mother. By this time, she had chemotherapy. All her hair was gone. She was bald. My mother sit on the side of the bed looking at me. And it's like, you know, the person want to tell you something, but it can't come out.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't even know my name.
Mm.
Just kept looking at me like she want to tell me something, but she did like she confused. She couldn't believe, like she can't believe where she is and what's going on with her.
Right.
Mr. SouFlo, we couldn't stay in our room, you know.
That's the point when you have to accept that this is my life and I'm at the end of it, you know.
Once me see my mother,
Yeah.
in my mind, me I said to me, all of the bad things them when me go through with my mother just come right back to me.
Mm.
I did have mixed feelings about
Mm.
my mother's dying
Mm.
because of everything what happened to
Right.
me as a child.
Right.
But still, I'm a mother, I'm a lover
Damn, you're super
because she did do
compassionate, yo.
some good things. She teach me a lot. She do some good things, but all of the things, the negative things, them come up on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, SouFlo, my belly button hurt me. I have to leave the room. All the family and everybody in the room. We just leave the room and run go to the bathroom.
And you never
Facility.
you couldn't find it in yourself to say no, a good for you or look for you know or nothing like that.
No, I say me go in the bathroom and I start crying.
Mm-hmm.
And I call my best friend and tell her, I say, Kia, me can't do this.
Mm.
I'm a mother, but me can't do this. Or me can't take care of everybody else, but when it comes to she, me can't do it.
Hmm.
We couldn't stand the sight of her.
Right.
And me start sing one song. And me sing the song till me reach home. And me start write down the song. Me write one song for my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time I produce the song and do the video and post it on YouTube, she died.
Mm.
And it's called Time with You. My whole family was there when she took her last breath at my auntie house.
Like she requested.
I refused to go.
Mm.
I did not want to go. I did not see her take her last breath. They had to call me and tell me.
You couldn't handle it.
We couldn't handle it.
Because it's your mom.
Yes. And the song when me write about my mother, the song consists of everything what happened to me between me and she and my brother and everything.
Damn.
I write the song. It's called Time with You.
Time with you.
If I could spend more time with you, I would love you unconditionally. I would forgive you.
Damn.
And she died before she could hear the song. Me say the family hold against me because I wouldn't be there with them and help them bear her and take care of her till she, because the family take care of her. We just couldn't do it, SouFlo.
But them should understand though. Like your journey never
So
normal
them
in
not,
any way.
when you know, but them never did have no loyalty in the beginning from when things happened to me. I mean, I had to expect that.
Saying.
And even years after, because she died 2014. And when we come back from Jamaica, as we walking at the house from the airport, one relative called me mad with me because of the video where we do the post. Remember the video, the live where you do with the story?
Yes.
My cousin called me and I go off on me. I tell me, say, I'm an auntie, you need to make it rest now. She dead now. She dead long time. Why you don't make it rest?
Sad.
So me just tell him, say, I'm not the same person you knew years ago the last time you see me. A different person.
See it.
Now you not talk. Don't call my phone. Because me not think they have a program on my phone. They said, don't call my phone with no frustration. We can talk with reason. We can't reason without you yelling and going on.
Cause your experience are your experience.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
you don't need no validation from nobody else.
You did talk about my mother and my auntie. You need to leave it alone. My mother did and my auntie did already. Leave it alone. You say anything you need to say about your mother and my mother. You can go on my channel, go watch it. It's been about a year now since we do the video. You can go watch it for yourself. Or you want me to send it to you? I may hang up the phone and block you.
Yeah, like Audrey say, your story to tell.
Exactly.
Your experience, your truth.
We wait years till after my mother dead to do the story. I'm my youngest son, you know, almost 2 years now, he don't talk to me. My youngest son don't talk to me.
Why?
Just now I start talk to me. Oh,
Because of
that? Because we exposed it.
So
and this was long before my second son born.
But him they want you expose all that.
Because I'm grandmother. Him love him grandmother.
Rotted.
Because grandma treated my children then like kings and queens. So them come no know that side of my mother like what they grow with. Me have scars for my body for the rest of my life when my mother do to me.
Your experience is your experience, but them not gonna understand that, you know.
It's my story.
Yeah, they're not gonna understand that because that's not their experience with her.
You have to tell my son, say, me go to my oldest son and ask him before me do the video and get permission from him. And him say it's okay, me can do it. Anybody else, me not have to get no permission from nobody else.
Audrey says she would have block her, but should I get some cloth out of me first before me block her? And that's
at Jamaica, me I come from him.
Seeing.
And as me walking at the house, phone ring. Me don't know who tell him say me go to Jamaica, but me know who me stay with at Jamaica, and me know who tell him when me tell him. Now when me go to Jamaica, me tell my family them everything. And I guess them call him and tell him. Say me I talk about
you know what's funny?
My mother.
You know what's funny about our culture though? And I notice this all the time. The person who, how should I put it now? The person who is willing to pull away the veil then and expose certain things then, the family don't look upon you like say, oh God, you should have talked that long time. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. What you say him do to you? Jesus Christ. Them not look upon you like that, you know. No, why that person always become the villain though? Why that person always become the villain though? You don't notice that? I know you're alone, you know.
Because you are exposing them as well. Because people are going to ask, where was your family? How come your family never step in and help you?
Yeah, I noticed that in our culture, that person always becomes the villain, you know?
The reason why they become the villain is because they're also going to get exposed. Because people are going to ask, when your mother do these things, where was your sister? Where were your cousin? Why they never help you? That's why they do it.
Why?
What me say all of this to make you know so far. Some of these people were in at the nursing home.
Mm.
They have done some things to their children
Yes.
and family when they were younger.
Yes.
And we don't know about these secrets.
Yes. True.
So when you see them as suffer and nobody come,
Look for them,
they don't
visit
call,
them, care for them.
they don't visit,
It's these
they
things.
just come and get the dead left.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of some of the things what them do when they were younger.
Yeah. True.
They can't feel sorry for my patient now and take care of him now. But me never know him when he did like black people and he used to call them nigger.
Mm-hmm.
But now he call me nigger.
Yeah. People
So
have them
remember
past,
when
huh?
he was younger.
Yeah, people have their past.
Yes, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's called karma. The past come back to you.
Absolutely, my
That's why you always preach how you make sure you do good to your kids because you know what, when you get old, they do the same thing to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Now go back in the chat, because me there at work, me I do 12-hour shift today.
All right. I appreciate you greatly. All right. Thank you.
All right,
All right.
later.
Yeah, Murray she have so many stories to tell. Sometimes when Maria tell her story, then me over here, a big man, I try not to make my eye them start sweat. So me no want to see me. I was so far, I cry. Me tell big man sit down there, I cry. But she been through so much, man. I tell her all the time. I say, yo, you are super strong. You know, you are super, super strong. I admire you for that. I admire our strength. Because you know when people go through some things where would I normally break not just the average person, it would break most people. What she been through would break most people, you know, and still you fit yourself into life and find your way same way, and you take your licks along the way, and you still find joy and try to bring other people joy. And boy, I mean, I know. Big up to you all the time here. Big up to you all the time. That's Mary's message 411 TV all the time. I told her years ago when I first did her story, when I came across it, and I'm a blast it out there. I tell her years ago, I said, you are just like what you just said, WBSK FM. I said, you're chosen. You're chosen to you can reach more than a lot of people who are trained in this field kind of thing. You can reach more people and save more people and save a lot of people who them can't reach either. You're chosen for this. You know, you'd have to walk there in order to gather your tools to be able to teach from that place there because you've done it type of thing. Yeah, man, because I can't explain it no other way or see the purpose in it any other way. Life is full of purpose, though. And yes, Kaz, that too. It's a therapy. It's a therapy. It's a therapy. Yeah, it's a therapy, S. Diva. You know, she gets to talk about it and unburden ourselves and enlighten others in the midst of unburdening ourselves as well. One thing we learn about life is this. Anything you see going on out here, never think you're going through it alone. That's where most people give up because they feel like, oh God, the burden is so heavy, it's so much, and I'm here by myself doing this. I don't care what your problem is. You're not the only person that's experiencing that problem. And that's not to minimize your problem. That's to make you realize that a human condition is affecting you at the moment, right? Don't give up. A human condition is affecting you at the moment. I keep telling y'all, man, I say it gets greater later all the time, and the only thing that comes to my mind all the time is my brother. And I'm keep thinking like, damn, you know, when life gets sweet for me, me always I said to my brother, I can't really enjoy it fully. Cause me, I said to my brother, like, me, I said to myself, like, if only Jamie just, if only he had just hung on, you know, and really realized and had that mindset, say, yo, it's gonna get greater later. Boy, it did get greater, it get way greater, but he not here to see it. He not here to see it. So whatever you're going through, whether it's past and it's still affecting you or it's current because it's happening right now, you're not the only one. So don't feel alone in your struggles. Don't feel like say you have to hold things in and fight stuff by yourself. It's hard to talk sometimes because you feel like nobody is listening, or maybe you're surrounded by people who don't want you to talk. And sometimes are the closest people to you who don't want you to talk. You know, you're gonna shame the family. Or Lord God, man, them dead and gone already. We don't want to hear no more of that. Let's make it rest now and bury it now. Nobody have a right to your truth. Nobody has a right to your truth. Your truth are your truth. You heard me? Nobody has a right to your truth. Nobody can tell you how to style it. Nobody can tell you how to put it out there. Nobody can tell you when to put it out there. Nobody could tell you how to feel about it, how to grieve your losses. Nobody has a right to any of that. That's yours, right? And you're not alone. You're not the only person. Trust me. You have to just reach out and open up. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard, but slowly, 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 right? Just don't bottle it all up and lock it in, because we've seen the ultimate of what that turns out to be when you bottle it up and lock it all in. Yeah, in that way. In that, me there I try to say something serious, and then me see Audrey in her comments earlier. Audrey, me never missed the comment, my friend. I saw it. Where Audrey said about in the nursing home with the STD, them a go around. Oh, we have to put some laughing in the middle of, cause what we are gonna do? Wake up every day and just cry? We can't. We can't. That's why we take serious thing, make joke, and we laugh. You know what I mean? And we get through life. Yeah, with the STDs in the nursing homes and all that, them old people are still in there getting it in, and that's true. You know, we come here this morning. As we talk, I have to be writing down the topics we're going through, because I will obviously have to retopic this video. I look for the proper word. I will have to retopic this video because this ain't what we came to talk about this morning. We just got led in that direction to talk about this morning. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Hey, morning, SouFLo.
Yeah, family, what go on?
What go on? A quick and short. Much share a story with you, you know. And sometimes as family, we have to be careful how we treat family, and parents have to be careful how they treat kids.
Indeed, indeed.
Because when you tell you something, you used to work at this hospital from Rockland Road in New York. And we used to work on the sidewalk. We used to train security how to deal with mental patients, how to take them down, how to speak to them, how to approach them. You understand me? And then this white man come on the floor. And nobody would come and visit him, but one black man. One black man come and visit him. But all this time, he said, Mr. Son, I look. Some people now never said I put him one day in the floor. And the man let me know say he was in the army. And things happen and he get messed up. But all the kids, three kids, them are putting out and one out. I know them asleep and SouFLo. Then that feel nothing. One black man start to give him 4 fittings and take him over shower him. Till him end up in the side wall. What happened now, SouFLo? The man put a band on all them things and they can't visit him. You see when him said, the man bring everything to the black man.
And will everything
the
to...
man, everything, all in house and thing, all the things I said, you will listen to the black man. I was Jamaican and I was Jamaican man, you know. And the people them carry the man that force in father things up. But never forcing father things up because they are liars and the hospital. They are who with his lawyer was put them on the mother's side. Yes, sir. Yes, man. So sometimes you treat parents and parents that teach or the treat their kids. You know what I mean? Because come back and turn down to that.
Saying.
Yeah.
True, man. True.
Yes, man. Real thing, man.
All right, my brother. Well, thank you for sharing that, scene.
All right, bless you.
Manners. All right, good segue into our topics. All right, we're going to go extended this morning, probably for about another, I don't know how long. Just hang on because they're probably going to be fast. Try to stay with. All right. They all mimic each other: Parkinson's, dementia, Alzheimer's, psychosis, etc. Says Nikki. Nikki, big up yourself and thank you for being here. Shout out to all my medical field personnel in the building this morning, from CNAs to LPNs to RNs to the MSNBCs to the doctors, to because you share your knowledge with us, and are you that at first hand? You understand? So the rest of us who aren't, no, I can't say us because I'm in the field. So the rest of those who aren't or have never been can get good insight. That's what we do over here. It's a family thing over here, and we share and talk to each other like that. You know what I mean? And that is that. So I'm going to move into some of the topics that we had planned for this morning. And I'll start out with, to take us away from all this, with an update to the Noel Maitland case. The Donna Lee Donaldson, justice for Donna Lee Donaldson. All right, this is what's going on so far. So, for those of you who missed yesterday, this trial was on hold. It started and then it went on break for about a month and a week, and now they're back. And the first testimonies that came back was given to you yesterday in yesterday's live. And then today is another set of information pertaining to. So we're picking up from right here. All right. Just so you know where the case is against Constable Noel Maitland, the police officer who is charged for killing Donna Lee Donaldson, his social media influencer, business entrepreneur, girlfriend, in 2022, where she disappeared, last seen at his apartment, and was never to be heard from or seen again. All right. So an independent commission of investigation, or Indicom crime scene investigator, admitted on Tuesday that other people had arrived at Constable Noel Maitland's apartment before he got there on July 28th of 2022 to process the scene when he found brown stains on curtains resembling blood. Before we even get into this, I'm not read this yet, but I can already tell you where this is going if your mind is clicking like mine's is. If the crime scene is contaminated, you can't say for sure who put that there. May not have been my client. More doubt again. Don't forget, I already said the prosecution needs a digital forensic expert to go through that videotape footage so that they can testify in court that the tape wasn't tampered with. We did see you going with her and you came out by yourself, and there's no footage of her coming out of that apartment. If them can't do that, they stand a chance of not winning this case, which means Noel Maitland could walk, right? Maitland is on trial for murder in the home circuit court in downtown Kingston following the disappearance of his 24-year-old social media influencer, entrepreneur girlfriend Donna Lee Donaldson, who was reported missing on July 12th of 2022 and was last seen at his apartment at Chelsea Manor in St. Andrew. During cross-examination, Chadwick Berry, one of the attorneys who are representing Maitland, asked the Indicom investigator if he was aware that a team from the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine And also, the Jamaica Constabulary Force attended the scene before he and his team got there to collect evidence. He said, I am aware of that. Berry then asked the witness, if a crime scene examiner, he said, agree that the preservation of a location when it is deemed to be relevant to an investigation. He said, correct. Berry further asked him if that meant that the location would have had to be maintained to ensure the integrity of potential evidence and to ensure proper investigation was done. The investigation said, yes, I agree. In keeping with maintaining the integrity of potential evidence, it is also important to ensure that the location is not contaminated. Do you agree with that also? The attorney said, and the professional, of course, replied, that's always ideal, sir. This is the Indicom investigator. Berry then asked the witness if he would agree that contamination could be defined as the introduction of foreign materials to the scene. The investigator said that would be based on what the contaminating factor was. What are some contaminating or some contaminants in your mind that should be considered? The attorney asked him. He said, well, watch this. He said, well, biological, to include like blood, other blood fluids, saliva, semen, chemicals, disinfectant, bleach, any of those things. Well, this is about the blood that was found in places. Biological, to include blood, other bodily fluids, saliva, semen, chemical, disinfectant. Okay. So you would also agree then with me that knowing the person that interact with a particular location that is deemed to be a location of interest to an investigator is important, right? He said, that is true. The witness said, adding that it would include people who would have gone to the location. Now, during the examination in chief led by the prosecution on Monday, the crime scene investigator explained for the 7-member jury how he packed and stored the evidence related to the case, including the curtains that were found at Maitland's apartment, which he had said that there were several stains throughout resembling blood. From Maitland's apartment, he also said that he secured a cream-colored pillow cushion. The investigator also spoke of how he secured the toothbrush, which belonged to Donaldson, and how he transported them, how he collected the package, how he had them handed over. Basically, he's the person that did everything. When I delivered the cream color pillow cushion to the Institute of Forensic and Legal Medicine, it was in the same condition, he said. Same way for the toothbrush and everything else. So he's under further investigation. The follow-up information to that is that there are the examiner confirmed the packages containing suspected blood. Okay, right here. During earlier testimony, the examiner detailed observing the stains on the drapes and all these other things. These items were documented with photographs as well, which were shown to the jury again. Additionally, the jury saw photographs of the toothbrush that was collected from Donna Lee Donaldson's mother's house as well. That's how they were able to match her DNA to the blood splatters that were found inside of Noel Maitland's house. It was a toothbrush that was collected from Donna Lee's mom's house, which is where she lived. She brushed her teeth before she left. Our DNA is left on it. Additionally, the jury saw photographs of the toothbrush. After the apartment search, the examiner conducted a forensic investigation or inspection of a pickup truck at the Halfway Tree police station. It is said that Noel was driving that pickup truck and it was confiscated. despite 3 chemical tests that were done on that pickup truck, no trace of blood was found on the vehicle. The truck's driver was present during the examination as well. So far, 7 of the 32 witnesses have been called in this trial, which is expected to last 10 weeks. This trial is expected to last 10 weeks. They are going to have 32 witnesses. Only 7 have been called so far. That's all the information we have pertaining to where this goes so far. So basically, you can see Noel's attorneys are doing their job, as in poking holes in the prosecution's theory or looking for holes to poke in the prosecution's theory, instilling doubt. That's very important, to instill doubt, make them feel like, could be him, but also could be somebody else who was there that did that before you came and collect the evidence, kind of thing. That's why he was like, okay, so were you aware that 2 other parties of people, multiple persons, went through that crime scene before you went there to go collect your evidence? See that right there, sir? Whole heap of doubt gone in this case here now. Wholly, because the scene was not protected for crime scene investigators to get the first look at it. Something I see them do all the time in Jamaica. You don't see it too. Like if murder happen, everybody run in. All even the police them run in and step all over the place and walk all over the place and put up everything anywhere, move this, put over here. So and you see people in there moving this, putting there, taking their own pictures for social media posts. I want my Jamaican people to know that you're contaminating the scene. In the US, that's the first thing they do. Them lock down the scene. Nobody can go in at this area here. If it's a house, the house is locked off. Nobody can push them head in there, push them camera in there, video it, then put it for social media. No, nothing. You have to go stay a certain distance away from it. Because believe it or not, say you have long hair, the breeze are blow. Your long hair can, some of your 2 strands can get blown out of your hair, end up on the crime scene. Next thing, investigators like, well, we found these 2 long hairs and the victim don't have this type of hair. Whose hair is this? Now we have to go test this hair to find out who hair this XYZ, right? Lead them in a whole different direction. Frig up the crime scene. Now, well, obviously has some good lawyers, and I'm saying justice for Donnelly still, but I keep saying to my audience, the way how court works is what can be proven in court. That's how court works. Unless somebody deals with you bias, it's what can be proven in a court of law. And if there's enough doubt that is instilled, especially when a lot of circumstantial evidence and no hard evidence, like for instance, they don't have the couch. They only have word of mouth from an individual that said the couch did have whole heap of blood come out of it. How you know say it's blood? The person said because it did smell raw and the fly them did not take it. So you can't say it's Kool-Aid. How you know I never Kool-Aid or juice or something? You see? All that's going to come up in court. We have to see where this one goes. Yeah, but that's where the Noel Maitland case is. We're moving right along from that because we want to get into, I'm going to take the bad man something out. No, you know, I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to take the bad man one out. Let's get into this details. I told you all about Mike Jeffries before. I said we have a whole lot of energy when it comes to destroying one of our own. Even when we see others doing it, we help them to do it, you know? Lock his ass up. Keep him in there for life. But we never do the same when it's their turn. And they don't do it to theirs either. So because I sat here and I went through all the details of Diddy's trial, I feel I have to equalize. So now I'm going to go through all the details of Mike Jeffries' story, the charges and everything. All right. Let me start off with this one first. The Abercrombie and Fitch CEO that was arrested for sex trafficking. Around the same time Diddy was arrested, he was arrested shortly after. However, he was allowed to bail out on a multi-million-dollar bail while they refused Diddy's $50 million. He was allowed to be on house arrest and allowed to go back to his mansion and continue living his good life while Diddy is still sitting in a Brooklyn jail cell, even after he has beaten the RICO charges. Despite the controversies that tainted his leadership, including a 2003 class action lawsuit for alleged racial discrimination, few could have predicted that this would happen to Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries, ex-CEO, and all these secrets that apparently were being concealed. Last year, the FBI opened up an investigation after BBC exposed claims, British Broadcasting Corporation exposed claims that Jeffries and his partner Matthew Smith had sexually exploited and abused a slew of men at events that were held in their New York residence and hotels worldwide. On Tuesday, authorities arrested Jeffrey. This is when it first happened. Smith and their alleged middleman, James Jacobson, charging them with operating prostitution and international sex trafficking business. Now, mind you, at the time, this is what they wanted Diddy's trial to look like. So, one of the alleged victims said, "I tried to say no repeatedly." He's going under the name Luke. When Luke was a 20-year-old, a man claiming to be a talent scout and executive assistant to Abercrombie and Fitch, former CEO, contacted him through a modeling website. He wanted to be a model. Residing in Los Angeles, Luke accepted an all-expense-paid trip to Madrid for a potential modeling job. Luke said that the details were vague, but he was told that he would meet the head honcho, Jeffries, and he should expect to be topless when he meets him, no shirt on. He didn't think anything was suspicious of that because for him, since Abercrombie and Fitch brand was known for its partially dressed young models. Guys go topless for Abercrombie and Fitch photo shoots all the time. When Luke arrived at the hotel in Spain, all expense paid, he was shocked at what he saw. The room was dimly lit, and it was decorated like an Abercrombie and Fitch store, with erotic photos of men's abs covering the walls. Employees were role-playing as store staff and introduced him to act like a shirtless greeter. Shortly after, Jeffries and Smith appeared, and they immediately began, both of them, touching Luke at the same time. Eventually, Jeffries forcibly kissed Luke and performed oral on him. Unable to reciprocate, Luke believed that he had lost his chance at the job because they were trying to get him to go down to give head and he wouldn't. He recalls wanting to leave, but he felt intimidated by the employees who now all seemed like they were security guarding the exit. I tried to say no repeatedly. I really tried. And then I just got kind of convinced to do something. But I was constantly saying no, and I was constantly saying I wanted to go. dozens and dozens of men. In 2023, following the BBC's investigation, a civil lawsuit was filed in New York accusing the former CEO and his partner of sex trafficking, rape, and sexual assault. Prosecutors allege that Jeffries, Smith, and Jacobson were running an intricate operation with the objective of trafficking these men from all over the world for Jeffries' own sexual gratification. U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, the same people that did Diddy's case, Brian Peace, alleges that Jacobson recruited these men to conduct sexual acts called tryouts. You know how them said Diddy had freak-offs? Them have tryouts in exchange for money. After Jeffries approved the men, they were flown to his New York home where they were pressured into consuming large amounts of alcohol, taking Viagra pills, and taking muscle relaxants at the same time. Prosecutors say that Jeffries and his partners even injected the men with an erection-inducing substance if they were unable or unwilling to participate. Prosecutors allege that Jeffries spent millions of dollars on international travel, hotel staff, and this is the same feds. They are alleging that he spent millions on international travel, hotels, staff, and security to maintain a secrecy of his operations. And although there are 15 victims mentioned in this one indictment, the operation likely encompasses dozens and dozens of men. Remember, in a Diddy case, it was Cassie, who he was with for 11 years, and it was Jane, who he's been dealing with for the past 3 years. Over here, so 15 alleged victims in their original affidavit, but they're saying that there are dozens and dozens more. Brad Edwards of Edward Henderson, a civil lawyer representing some of these alleged victims, said that these arrests are a huge first step towards obtaining justice for these many victims who were exploited and abused through their sex trafficking scheme that operated for many years under the legitimate cover-up Abercrombie provided. The civil lawsuit filed last year also accuses Abercrombie & Fitch of funding Jeffries' illicit activities during his 2 decades of leadership at the billion-dollar company. After they refused to pay the former CEO's legal fees, Jeffries sued the company, arguing that his employment contract required the brand to cover his legal fees. At that time, Abercrombie & Fitch claimed that it had no knowledge of the operations and that it was opening its own investigation into the allegations. However, when recently asked by the BBC if they would publicize their findings, they declined to answer. Earlier this year, a judge ruled that the allegations were tied to Jeffries' corporate role and Abercrombie & Fitch must cover all the legal fees. The unprecedented reporting by BBC, coupled with the lawsuit our firm filed detailing the operations, are to credit for these monumental arrests. This was the result of impressive investigative journalism. Now, Mike Jeffries, as he goes out, right after he's charged, guess what happens? A medical professional is brought into the picture. Mike Jeffries now has been diagnosed with dementia and has onset of Alzheimer's, his lawyer says. And here are all the allegations against the former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO. That quick. Remember, he just got arrested right after Diddy did. Okay, so Jeffries, his partner, Matthew Smith, James Jacobson, each one of them were charged with sex trafficking and engaging in interstate prostitution, the Department of Justice said, leading to Jeffries and Jacobson pleading not guilty to their charges in New York in October, while Smith pled not guilty in Florida earlier in that month. That was in December. Prosecutors allege that between December of 2008 until 2015, Jeffries and Smith and Jacobson coerced many young men into attending sex events that they believed would bring them modeling opportunities, though they also believed not complying once they got there would harm their chances of ever working in the modeling industry. Jeffries and Smith allegedly provided financial resources to arrange these sex events, including paying for travel and for staff to facilitate and to supervise the events, while Jacobson traveled across the U.S. to recruit and interview young men for them. During these interviews, Jacobson allegedly required the candidates to engage in sexual acts with him first, according to an indictment that was unsealed on Tuesday. So he was the person who would try them out first. And if they qualified, he would then pass them on to Jeffries and his partner. Prosecutor also alleged that Jeffries and Smith directed others to inject, or personally they themselves injected, some of the prospective models with a prescription grade erection inducing substance to engage in these sex acts they were otherwise physically incapable or unwilling to engage in. Neither Brian Bieber, Jeffries' attorney, nor Abercrombie and Finch have reached out to say anything else pertaining to the case that's going on. Jeffries has been diagnosed now with dementia and late onset of Alzheimer's disease after several evaluations by a neuropsychologist, according to a court filing on Monday. Bieber questioned Jeffries' competency and focus and suggested that the former chief executive did not appear to come even close to resembling a master's degree educated individual. Bieber questioned Jeffries' competency to rationally assist with the case, including discussing his legal defense, according to the filings. A competency hearing to determine whether Jeffries is fit to stand trial is scheduled for, we're in July. That competency meeting was supposed to happen in June. We're in July. We've heard nothing of it. Don't know if it was pushback or what. Brad Edward, an attorney representing the alleged victim, accuses Jeffries and Smith of operating one of the most organized sex trafficking operations in U.S. history. In a statement to Forbes. See, there are stories in here, right? They have 12 guys who describe. One of them said he was working at a dollar store, at the cash register at a dollar store, and this guy came up to him, which he now knows to be them too, Jeffries and his partner. And they were like, oh my God, you're so handsome, so beautiful. Why are you working here? I can have you on a runway in Paris by the end of the week. And he was like, oh, wow, really? And they're like, yes. Have you ever heard of Abercrombie and Finch? And he was like, of course, who hasn't? And then he looked at them and he was like, oh, shit, that's them. The CEO is standing right here. Of course, I believe he said he was 19. He took the opportunity. He ended up getting flown out. Looked like everything was going as planned. Life was about to change, and ended up in a sex party where he said they injected his Teely with that thing because he wasn't turned on by any of what was going on in there. So he couldn't even pitch a tent, couldn't even do an erection. And they injected him and the thing stood up. Could you imagine having a stiffy even when you didn't want one? Crazy. Crazy. Because somebody injected something in you and now it's just there. Oh. Jeffries had faced criticism or comments that he made while serving as Abercrombie & Finch chief executive in 2006. Jeffries told Salon the Abercrombie & Finch clothing line was exclusively marketed towards cool and good-looking people, and that the company didn't market to any other people than that. He later apologized, saying that the company was completely opposed to discrimination and other derogatory characteristics and characterizations. In 2012, a pilot was worked on. Abercrombie & Fitch Jet filed a discrimination lawsuit against Jeffries, alleging that he was fired in favor of a younger man. Bloomberg reported that though the suit was settled after Jeffries was ordered to testify, Abercrombie has also faced criticism, including multiple lawsuits alleging that the company discriminated against minorities during the hiring process. And in 2009, 17-year-old Samantha Eloff successfully argued that Abercrombie's discrimination against her after she was told that her hijab violated the company's look policy, which has resulted in other lawsuits against the company. They didn't hire too many black people. It is said that they didn't hire too many black people because, especially guys, because that was not Jeffries and his partner's taste. If you read the details, there are stories in here. It's too graphic for me to go in here, right? I can get away with saying certain things on here. I can't get away with saying all of it. I'm going to encourage everybody to go find the work. I'll give you the link and go read the details in here. It's talking about stuff like holes being shoved up. All man we are dealing with, So wherever you think holes can get shoved in, and just one bag of something. It makes Diddy's case look like child's play. Yeah. The different fluids that were all over the place, the vomits and the blood and the semen and the this and the that. It makes Diddy's stuff look like child's play. That's why we were wondering how come Diddy couldn't get bail, right? But these guys were able to. And lo and behold, he's now diagnosed with dementia and late onset Alzheimer's. Just like that. And is not competent enough to stand trial, or that's what his team is pitching. Like, even we're here trying to discuss with him the legal angles of the case. He is not catching on to anything we're saying. Like, so I asked my people again, right? Or black people again. I said, how come do y'all miss these things? How come you miss these things? And you over there shouting, Diddy should burn in hell, lock his ass up, keep him in there forever. And I'm trying to tell y'all that worse is going on right in front of you. And you're not helping them to bring their own down. And if you notice, they're not loud about their own either when their own does that. Who you see out here talking about this every minute, like how they're talking about Diddy's case? Diddy and two women who he actually supports. Who you see out here talking about it on their side? Nobody. Nobody. Have you seen the mainstream media even? Right, Nance, that too. Right? Nobody. It is quietly swept under the rug, and we help them to sweep it under the rug by turning our attention to attacking our own. It's a strategy. It's a strategy. It's very much a strategy like how, they wanted us to think that the biggest terrorists were people who dressed like that and covered up themselves and said, pray 5 times a day type stuff, when in actuality it's There's so much you just can't say on here because it's just like taken the wrong way. Man, I look forward to the day when we really have free speech. I look forward to the day when we really have free speech, when we can speak. Nan says there's maybe one or two bloggers that's highlighting it. Yeah, King Biggs, me I go easy, bro. Me done our fight. I'm past it now. Ain't gonna mess with it no more. And on that note, we're gonna leave that there. But I want you to remember, in their original affidavit, there are 12 people. 12 that are willing to come forward, 12 that are telling their stories, 12. And outside of that affidavit, there are dozens more. And you know, I can't even say the feds, because after watching Diddy case now, it's like the feds put together a lot of stuff to make it look like what they wanted it to look like, and call it what they wanted to call it. Audrey said, "Them get to the worst of the worst, but we are thrown to the slaughter for the smallest of things." Not saying that what they did was accused of was small. Yeah. My issue is how we, the people, rally behind them when they come for one of ours. And we know about theirs, but we don't say nothing. I want you to let that sink in. We rally behind them when they come for one of ours. We help them to tear down ours. I don't hear nobody making up any funny names for him, for Mike, the Abercrombie and Finch ex-CEO. I don't hear anybody making up any funny names for him. Diddy gets called the diddler. He gets called, you know, people made jokes like, yeah, I'm going to go over there and put it in there. No Diddy. And, you know, we turn it into a meme. We send it viral. We rejoice. We go into overtime calling for him to lose everything he's worked for, keep him in prison forever, without even hearing all the details of his case. Most people who heard Diddy's case, by the time they were halfway through that trial, most of them who wanted him locked up changed their minds and was like, okay, listen, I wanted this man locked up too. I can't stand his ass, but I'm looking for, like, where's the racketeering and where's the sex trafficking? Like, are you going to start showing that, or are they getting to it? And then before you know it, the case was over and they never showed any. And then people are like, damn, wait a minute. So all the stuff we heard wasn't true. They spent so much time making us think that all that stuff was true, to include mainstream media. They were in on it. We thought the baby oil was laced with some kind of drugs, remember? Yeah. We thought there were missing people who would be showing up in these videos. We thought there would be people who would be saying, get off me, stop. I don't want to do it. Let me go. Please, man, stop. Let me go. We thought so many different things, and none of it was true. But they did a good job. We thought there were going to be some minors on tape. We're like, yeah, boy, he's done. We thought there were going to be other celebrities. Come to find out, this man's personal life. Him, the woman he's dealing with, and who they choose to inject in it. Where's the big party with the celebrities and the children who are involved, and the baby oil that was spiked, and the people who are resisting and saying no and stop, and they're still forced to, and they go for days and in a dungeon, a sex dungeon. They did a good job painting a picture that had a lot of people convicting that man before he even went to trial. And all along, they haven't said a damn thing about Jeffries. They haven't said a damn thing about him. They'll say the basics. Well, the ex-CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch has been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, XYZ, da da da. On today's news, gangsters were neutralized, and there was a shootout in Brooklyn, New York today that had they just swooped right past it. Nothing else. Here goes Lulu Ridges now says, I do not support or rally for no damn no drunk man, no matter how small the offenses are. Diddy was guilty for just being plain nasty. Yeah, he was. And so were the women who were involved with him too and trying to partake in his riches and all the opportunities they thought would come with doing those nasty things for him. You know, so it wasn't him just being nasty by himself. It was him and the nasty woman them being nasty together. That's what it was. Let's call it for what it is, right? It's like them Jamaican woman, they will be like, they'll be out here saying stuff like, yeah, Jamaican man, them cheat, the whole of them cheat. If you have a Jamaican man, he will cheat on you because they're big cheaters. But them same woman, they never said to you, say, you know, say Jamaica run the world on this side of the globe when it comes to paternity fraud. We call it jacket. Yeah, like you frig a next man and breed for him while you're in a relationship and you give your man the picnic and say, is yours, babe. Look pan little John John. Look how him have your foot. No man that look like your mother's nose. And him have your father's eyes too, you know. John, and you stitch that jacket there together nice and fit it on the man. I don't say nothing about that though, but on a broadcast to the world how Jamaican men are cheaters and all of them cheat. And if you have one, you must definitely go cheat on you. Just get ready for take bun. We see them all over the internet. Even women from other nations, they're like, yeah, if you want to lose weight really fast, get you a Nigerian man or get you a Jamaican man, and then you'll see Jamaican woman. They're the same thing. Jamaican woman in our comment section, Nigerian, Jamaican are the same thing. Them, yeah. If you want a headache and lose weight fast, you go get one of them man there. Take a special kind to deal with them kind of man there. Blah blah blah. Biggest cheater them in the world. For some reason, them can't keep one woman. None of them, no matter how good him seem, but they'll never say, yeah, we the woman them, yeah, we stay the same way too, you know, we're wild and we're very free and giving with fat pum pum. We like fling it out there for somebody boy pick them, mash them up. And you know, take baby and give it to our next man where you know belong to and these things. We have to talk the truth, because I go both ways, not true? Yeah, Nans. Nobody speak about a Jamaican woman who give jacket, just a nasty rascal man, them dirty boy, thinking boy, that's always a cheat. You see, if we ever said a dirty, nasty rascal girl, them thinking girl, hey, don't be talking about women like that. Don't you have a mother? Don't you have sister? You have daughters, man. You're a father. Don't speak about women like that. But when they're ready for class, Ross man, though. Woo! Them freely liberated with the pom pom great goodies. Yes, very frisky with it, very giving, very joyfully giving with it. Just boom, flick it out for anybody. He can get some. He can get some. You know, some feel like me, I give him some today. Yeah, I know my type, but him can get some too. You want some? You can get some. You can. All right, me I give it a rest. Make it tighten up back a little bit. You ready again? You can get some. He can get some. Ross, them breed me. I don't know who you know, but me I give him. Are yours. Audrey Wright says he's then convicted of transportation to commit prostitution, but the woman who was transported for him to have sex with is considered a victim and not a prostitute. That makes sense to me. It don't make sense to me neither. Okay, so this is how his charge go. transportation to engage in prostitution. So they were transported, being transported, transporting, moving, vehicle, plane, car, across state lines, etc. And the purpose was to go or out of country, and the purpose was to go engage in prostitution, which is the act of paying somebody for some of their sex, right? Okay, so him and them woman here fly out to go to threesome from California to New York to Miami to whatever, and they went and they enjoyed it by the testimony of the man them what did involve. They enjoyed it. Them tell them how satisfied they were. Them squirt and wet up the place and all kind of something. And then them stand up in a court and say, I was a victim. He transported me. And him alone get charged. He didn't force them, because if he forced them, if the jury found out that he forced them, the jury would have charged him with trafficking. But because there was no force found in it, there was no coercion found in it, they agreeably went along with it. It's transportation to engage in. If me pick up Nans and Mervyn and Great Goodies and put on in a one vehicle with me and say, make we go to Miami this weekend, go wild out. And we go down to Miami and we buy a couple people, because we pay this one at 50 per head, and that the one there, you know, Nan says she want the one that can film thing and knock on him knee. So we pay him 100. Mervyn said, I want a big breast one because she look like, well, dolly up on something. Pay her 100 too. And then catch it. That was transportation to engage in. Somebody didn't want to go down. So they said, listen, I'll tell you how it all goes if you give me immunity. Yes, Nans was there. Yes, Mervyn was there also. Greg Goodies was there also. And SouFLo was the main one. He was the one who came up with the idea. He was the one who found the people. And he was the one who was driving the vehicle that took us there. So now SouFLo get charged with transportation to engage in. Because me carry no go engage or no in a buying some front. That's it. That's all that it is. I don't know why people trying to make it seem like it's something that is so serious that people died and lives were lost and lives were ruined. That's the only thing he got charged for, buying some front. Traveling to go buy some front. And that didn't get charged for. Everything else was found he wasn't liable for or guilty of. And you know what? The end of the day in Diddy case is he was exonerated in a way, because now nobody else can say, because he can now say, listen, I went to the feds with this. I stood a 7-week trial after 34 testimonies in front of a jury of 12 that found me not guilty for all of this. So you can miss me with all that BS. I don't live by your street rules. This is the law, and this is what the law said. All right, they got me for buying some front. You know, she was with me. She enjoyed herself. Yeah. And they chose to try me alone or charge me alone because she decided to testify against me. It's all good. The good thing for him out of all this is he will keep his wealth. He will keep his money. He will keep his assets and his resources. That's the good thing, because the aim was to take away all of that from him, and they won't be able to do it now. Right. Are we flying private? Nans, we are driving out. We're money not tall up yet like that, so we are going to fly private, friend. We're driving. We're going to rent a van. We're going to rent a van from Enterprise or Six to rent a car, and we're going to pack up in the van, and we are driving to buy some front. It's just that we're driving across state lines. Them say good front sell down in Miami. So we are going to go buy some front. We don't want to go to Atlanta because we might not know what we're getting. So we're going to go to Miami. And it's going to be a party for grown folks. All right? Yeah. That. Road trip. You can't imagine that the road trip there. Everybody in the vehicle. Where we are go? Are we there yet? Like the big people in it. Are we there yet? Where we are go? I can't wait to get my own. Me here such a good enough. Yeah, man, she good. Enough man she make unconscious. You know what she unalive me still, but me still want to feel the feeling. Where I say, you too? Yeah, we can't wait for reach. When are we there yet? When are we gonna get there? All excited in the back of a vehicle like this. Down I-95 South. Just are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are they gonna be there? When we are meet up? Which hotel? We're at the Intercontinental. We have to go use cheap hotel too. So, our story now gonna turn out so fancy at all. It's low budget. We have got low budget. We'll pick up some Dollar Tree baby oil, and we're gonna go. We'll pick up some Dollar Tree baby oil. For Dollar Tree charge $1.25 now in us on a dollar store no more, and they have an island there that Merva Drive. All right, and they have an island at a dollar store now where things go up to like $40, and then kind of something there. So we're gonna pick up some Dollar Tree baby oil, and then we're gonna stay at the Holiday Inn. Yeah, the Holiday Inn has the suites, the executive suites, and then them have regular Holiday Inn. The one where you get breakfast in the morning, because we are gonna tired, so we're gonna need breakfast, right? It's cheap. It's cheap. It's like $95 a night. I think grown people like we can afford that. We'll get two rooms. Two rooms. The two room them where you can unlock one door and go from room to room. Yeah, that means that we have 4 bed in the soccer, 2 bed in a one, 2 in another. Just don't look over on my side when I do my thing. I won't look over on your side when you're doing your thing. And we don't want to join in with each other neither. Don't touch me. Don't talk to me and don't come near me until we're done. Do what we are do. We're up on a budget. We're balling on a budget. We're trying to make it work. So for the story now, gonna sound like we were in some big $10,000 a night suite, and then there was a $100,000 shopping spree after. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Morning, family. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I want to take it a little further.
Right, go on now.
We going to the nursing home and work. Domestic work and work. Come home, can't pay the bills. Don't have nothing to eat, but then can go out, come up and get shopping, they rent pay and everything, and they feel so good. And yesterday I said I'm a victim.
You see.
And we're more victim because we come home and 110 more cannot pay the rent, can't buy the food.
But so they would laugh after you do, Hear why? Because some of them, let me tell you why. Some of them old people there where you take care of in the nursing home, them rich. Them rich. But you have the money in front of you, you just don't know how to access it. Right. So them will tell you, say, just like how they did things strange for a little bit of change, you should have did the same, and you wouldn't be working so long hours and can't pay your bills the same way, because it's nobody's business but yours. Your struggles are.
Yeah, and then sometimes again they go cross state line, the man pay them fare and everything. They come back and go to do the lawyer and judge and everything, and they come back and then turn around and judge you who do that, and that's what they did to get their education.
Yeah. We ain't judging nobody, we're just talking about the law, but
no, that's what I'm saying. But it's not fair. When it turns to a black person, when it turns to a white person, all of a sudden they're sick. I know that all the time. When they go shoplifting, they told their parents, they said, oh, he didn't take your medication and all this, and they let him go. But it's a black person, they lock him up and say it's a thief.
Instantly. All right, family.
Okay, thanks.
She never ready. Audrey, where I left Audrey. Audrey, do you want to come on the trip too? Audrey said she want one of them one day where him thing and knock on him knees. Okay, Audrey, we're not leaving you the next trip. Chris and G said, why they left Audrey? Jerome, I work at the front desk and check in. We're gonna need a video person. somebody is gonna have to carry the, you know, cause remember, you know, whole heap of video have to take. Remember when them storm my boy a house, Diddy house, them all the mansions got raided, how many footage of videos, all the encounters were videotaped. So we're following in this footsteps, so we're gonna need the videos. We're gonna need one videographer. Who's gonna be the videographer? Me I got busy. Don't put me in like a front me I go for. Me no want no video. Me no want no job for be no video man. 5 up or be the video. 5 up I gonna be the video guy. Yo, you know so the bad. The bad the rat is, you know. Marie can video. No, Marie after that 2 months tour there. I think Maria go on join in. Maria go on do her own thing. She don't want to do no videoing. She don't seem like the type that just wants to video and stay on the sideline. I think Marie is gonna jump in the game. She's gonna be like, put me in the game, coach. I see something go on. That's all. So, oh, see that? Maria go on and whip everybody. She gonna be the one in the latex suit with the whip. Yeah, harder. Harder. What that you do? Get up from there. So turn it that way. Harder. Go faster, faster, boy. Faster. Big up yourself. Yes. Oh, all right. You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep it up. You harder than that. Boy. You know, so we need to come off of that live, you know. Yeah, we need to come off of this live and done it right. That's all. Before we go too far and can't explain yourself. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna end it right here while it's on a up. Not gonna go no further. Manners and respect to each and every one of you tuning in. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you for being here. Remember, keep a smile on your face, my friend, because life is life in. All right. We don't know when. We don't know when. We have to go pick this up later. Like my granny, Miss Ruby said, she write this up. She said, be good. If you can't be good, be careful, but it's best to be good. And my grandfather must Clevie, why me I go say God no and put God in all this? God forgive me. I drop me in a mic. But my grandfather said, I will see you tomorrow if if God spare my life. Please spare my life. I will see you tomorrow if God spare my life. And I walk good. Be good. I'm out. Peace. All right.